Leafs, where Edmonton carries a remarkable record of 17-4-1 under Chris Knobloch. Evander Kane working in the right corner of the offensive zone. Back to Ceci, and it's sent down low. Parayko and Leddy start on defense for St. Louis in their top line of Buchnevich, Kyrou, and of course the great Robert Thomas. Kyrou streaks in from the right-hand side, got blasted by Nurse. Thomas behind the net, centers, and Torrey Krug heeled one wide. Krug snapped a long scoring drought the last time these two teams squared off. Justin Falk lets one fly. He was unavailable. He's missed more than a month this season due to an assortment of injuries. Kicks it back, and now it's Kyrou laying it down low for Robert Thomas and Jake Neighbors, the one-time Edmonton Oil King, who has had a terrific season with 19 goals in his sophomore campaign. Nurse will reverse up the left-hand side. Edmonton in the blue and orange, white trim. McDavid to McDavid to Draisaitl, who tried to center back to McDavid. That was broken up and sent down deep by Jake Neighbors. And Bob, in that earlier game, it was St. Louis's top line who outplayed Edmonton's top guns.
Got a high stick coming up here to Leon, Jack.
Draisaitl taking an early penalty. Trying to skate away from traffic is the hulking 6'6" Colton Parayko. Leaves it for Nick Leddy. The Blues will get an extra skater on as Jordan Binnington, their starter, who beat the Oilers with 36 saves a couple of weeks ago, departs the ice. Brandon Saad into the zone, and he just missed the activating Leddy, both former Chicago Blackhawks. Now it's the rookie, Zach Bolduc, moving it to Thomas, twirled back to Kevin Hayes. He fires, and that missed high blocker on Skinner. After the puck, Warren Foegele able to touch up, and now 2 minutes into the hockey game, St. Louis awarded the first power play of the night. And Bob, penalty here early on against Draisaitl. The key, though, in my mind, a couple of weeks ago in St. Louis was for one of the rare occasions you could say that head-to-head Edmonton's top players were outplayed.
They were. St. Louis touched them up on the power play as well. They're only 24th. Two really good looks to the Blues at 5-on-5. Edmonton was lucky they weren't scored on. And then Thomas with a laser from the right point, and it's 1-0.
Fifth straight game the Oilers have given up the first goal. 7th out of 9, 9th out of 11th. And the Blues have been outscored 12-3 in the first period of their last 7 games. Get the quick start they wanted. Krug and Neighbors will get the assist. And Jake Neighbors continues to put up points this season. 19 goals, as I mentioned, now up to 27 points. For a while, he was bidding for the Cy Young. The Oilers will dump it in. Binnington guides it back to Tyler Tucker. In for the left-hand side. Tucker, a second-year pro, play off the wall, 2-on-1. Here's Bolduc, centering pass, and that went over the stick of Kevin Hayes, and that was a dangerous chance. You heard the anguished cry of my broadcast partner as the Oilers got beat off the wall, but St. Louis unable to cash in the 2-on-1. Here's Bolduc finding an open man. Scandella's shot bobbled for a moment and then squeezed by Skinner. Bolduc was drafted 17th overall in 2021 after back-to-back 50-goal campaigns, and of course, he won the Memorial Cup under Patrick Waugh in Quebec.
Now, the Oilers have had an awful start to this game.
No rhyme or reason for it, Bob. We've talked about it ad nauseum the last couple of weeks. The Oilers have struggled out of the gate.
Yeah. I mean, they've given up 4 odd-man breaks and worked .310 into this game. Wake up.
Worth noting that the Blues have the best record in the entire league when they get the first goal. Here's an icing call whistled against Edmonton, and Evan Bouchard. Bob, St. Louis is 24-2 when they get the first goal. And I know Edmonton grabbed the lead at the end of the first period, but of course the Blues got the first goal the last time they two
And they got a bunch of goals in the second.
Yeah, they got 4 unanswered.
Which has just undermined the Oilers here. Poor starts early in games, poor second periods, and Edmonton keeps on having a chase in the third. Not a sustainable recipe for success.
Big reason why they have 18 comeback victories, second in the league. Only New Jersey has more. Sent in deep. Bouchard tries a shot from the right point. Cleared by the Blues' Nathan Walker. Oilers work it through the middle. Connor Brown sends it in deep. He hooked up with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins for the goal that sealed Edmonton's 4-2 win over L.A. on Monday night. A game where the Oilers gave up 40 shots for only the second time all year. You had to go back to Game 3 against Nashville. Another turnover by the Oilers. This one by Connor Brown. Shot from the point, redirected wide. Nathan Walker is on it, and then a hard hit by Ekholm separates Nikita Alexandrov from the puck. Shot from the point by Tucker does not make it through. And now you've got, once again, an opportunity for Alexandrov. He'll come off the half wall, slide it to the slot area, and Robert Thomas unable to get a shot away. Stolen by Connor Brown, cleared through the middle, and Dylan Holloway dumps it in. 4 1/4 gone by in the first period. The Oilers don't have a shot, and they're Kyrou with a beautiful feed. And that top line for St. Louis will burn you. Sent in deep. Toropchenko. Relieved of the puck from the corner. The Oilers clear. Janmark works it up the right-hand side for Evander Kane. So Thomas with a goal and an assist in the early going. 2-0 St. Louis. Toropchenko tries the right-hand boards, taken away by Kula. Forced back to center. Stepping up is Tucker. He'll shovel it in.
I mean, the Oilers have been brutal. They're turning away from pucks. No one's taking the initiative out on the ice right now.
Desharnais off to Evander Kane. Streaking down the middle. That was batted down. Shoveled up the left-hand side. Kane makes a steal. Holds the zone. Lead pass deflected out of play by Ryan McLeod. 5.5 gone by first period. Bob, I look back to Monday, and quite frankly, L.A. had that game under control. Then all of a sudden, Dubois doesn't seal the wall in the final half minute, and Edmonton got on the board. I thought that was almost as pivotal as the penalty kill because it was such a quiet first period.
Well, this one's not quiet because Edmonton's given up 2 here.
2-0 St. Louis. Thomas on the power play. Buchnevich at even strength. It'll be McLeod centering Perry and Fogle, but the face-off won by St. Louis. Parayko steers it up to Toropchenko. Remember St. Louis on the second of a back-to-back. They were beaten last night by Winnipeg 4-2. Played okay. Joel Hofer not his best showing in net for St. Louis. Now a drop-off by Bolduc as the Blues maintain on the left half boards. Kevin Hayes behind the net. Matthias Ekholm there to cut it off. Poke it free for Bouchard, and a cross-ice delivered to Corey Perry left side. Tucker came right over and stole the puck. He'll dance behind his own net. Tucker looked to move it up ice. Came right back to him. Now he'll throw it around the boards. Bolduc did not get a clear. McLeod had it booted away. A shot by Ekholm redirected just wide by Perry, who had a point-blank look at the side of the net. Ekholm will step up. Challenged by Bolduc, and he'll hoist it off the glass, put a lot on it, but Brandon Saad has enough speed to negate icing against Evan Bouchard. Now he looks for a teammate. Spinning on Bouchard, dropping it off in the corner, and Kevin Hayes will go nowhere. Derek Ryan's right on him, and Ryan eventually took the puck, gave it back. Letty open, a drive, and a glove save made by Stuart Skinner. Even in that situation, after winning a battle, the Oilers ultimately cough it back up, and Skinner has to make a glove save on Nick Letty, who took a puck in the mouth and is wearing a protective shield tonight for St. Louis. He took that puck in last night's loss to Winnipeg. So nearly 7 minutes gone. The Blues already with a 2-0 lead. This is Four Dealers NHL Hockey live from Rogers, the Oilers Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Foreigner, live in Edmonton. Foreigner is back. The Farewell Canada Tour.
You're as cold as ice.
Friday, May 10th, Rogers Place. Foreigner, with special guest, Ted Pins. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.ca. Foreigner, the Farewell Canada Tour.
Live sky high with remarkable units for rent and for sale at Sky Signature Suites. Currently offering amazing incentives on 1- and 2-bedroom rentals featuring designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. All of this and more within the heart of Ice District, Edmonton's best address for shopping, dining, entertainment, and fun. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com and make your home high above the ordinary.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Face-off coming right side of Stuart Skinner. The St. Louis Blues already owners of a 2-0 lead. An extremely poor start for the Edmonton Oilers, but a lot of time left. 53 minutes to be exact. A shot from the high slot tipped by Buchnevich just wide. Grabbed by Evander Kane. Buchnevich, one of the 2 goals. Kane to Nugent. I'm considering pass, and that just eluded Matthias Janmark, who's had 3 goals and an apple his last 5. Shot by Kane and a save made by Jordan Binnington. St. Louis's #1 goaltender getting the start on the second of a back-to-back. Buchnevich couldn't handle an outlet pass, and Ceci will strike it up the right-hand side. Janmark, a backhand centering pass by Kane went off a skate. Buchnevich jousting for possession of that puck. The other goal on the power play scored by Robert Thomas. Here's Kane, a shot, and that went through a screened Binnington. Kane appears to have jump early, a positive sign for Edmonton, one of the few here in the first 5 or 6 minutes. Puck reversed by Torrey Krug over to Justin Falk. The outlet taken by Kyrou. Played it to the middle where it's stolen by Ceci ahead of Robert Thomas, and a regroup for Edmonton in the midst of a line change. Connor McDavid building speed, the league's 3rd leading scorer, 91 points coming in. Has it taken away. Toropchenko with offside whistled against Jake Neighbors of St. Louis, and yet another miscommunication. Bob, we've seen a handful of them already just 8 minutes into this game, and the Oilers down 2.
Well, the Oilers' second pairing, and they are the second pairing of Nurse and Ceci, 1,300 years of experience. They've had
well, hopefully not years. That would really
1,300 games of experience. That'd be impressive if they got to 1,300 years.
That would go back to the Paleolithic era, I believe. Sent down low.
They have had a tough start to this game, those guys.
Ekholm up the left-hand side, and now McDavid wires one across to Zach Hyman. He's checked against the boards. Jake Neighbors comes over, shovels it on the tape. Eventually, Toropchenko will carry it to center ice for the St. Louis Blues. Right to left in their white uniforms, outlined in blue and yellow. Colton Parayko put it behind the net for Braden Shen. St. Louis captain in a spirited bout with his opposing captain, Winnipeg's Adam Lowry, last night in the 4-2 loss suffered by the Blues. Shot in by Draisaitl and taken by Bouchard. Tried to catch Binnington napping, but it was deflected wide of the St. Louis goaltender. Sundqvist with a turnover. Warren Foegele tried to center, broken up, intended for McLeod. A lunging Parayko could not get it out. One-timer ripped by Kulak just wide. Rebound side of the net, and Binnington barely got back in time. Foegele to Kulak, across to Vinny Desharnais. High slot, blast from distance, and Perry had it blocked. He gets it right back, right circle. Lets a wrist shot go, and likewise, it was blocked. And here's an opportunity for Alexandrov to clear, but he put too much on it, and this will be icing against the visitors with 10:39 to go in the first period. 2-0 for the St. Louis Blues, who look to beat Edmonton for the second time this month.
Well, right now they've outscored them 8-3 in 3.5 periods.
Well, they've won 8 of the last 12. They're 4-1-1 in their last 6 trips to Edmonton. So even as the Blues have kind of descended into the second tier of cup contenders, they've given Edmonton fits. And now off the draw, we have Hyman shaken up. I think this is just a redo, no penalty on the situation, and a puck drop will be held to the right of Jordan Binnington, with Edmonton's top line getting an attacking zone faceoff. McDavid will take it and win it cleanly. Back to Darnell Nurse. His shot was blocked. Pinballed right back to Nurse. He'll wrap it around, and a battle won by Hyman in the corner, but he could not work his way to the front of the net. Toropchenko with a chance to clear, and with help from Alexandrov, the Blues do usher it back to center. Line matchup in favor of Edmonton right now. Top line against the 4th unit for St. Louis. Here's Darnell Nurse across to Ceci. Right side, Draisaitl. Wild shot. McDavid could not pick it up off the corner boards, and the Blues get it in deep and are in the midst of a change. Torrey Krug trying to play a puck at the blue line, but Hyman beat him to it, almost got inside. Krug, to his credit, burrowed his way back in. Hyman had the puck raked from his grasp, and the Blues will try to move it up the left-hand side. McDavid the steal, a dish, and a redirect right into the chest of Jordan Binnington as Desharnais found a cutting McDavid, but he was able to handle the high slot redirect. 9:47 to go in the first period. The shots are 4-3 St. Louis, but the Blues have an early 2-0 lead on goals by Thomas and Buchnevich. From Rogers Place, sold out as per usual. It's Edmonton, St. Louis. The first period action continues in just a moment with Ford Dealers NHL Hockey. Do it. It's Radio Network.
It's a new era for Ford in Edmonton. Welcome to Big West Ford. Located westbound on Stony Plain Road, just east of the Henday. Big West Ford is Edmonton's newest and most exciting Ford dealership. Whether you're after the legendary F-150, the Powerhouse 350 Super Duty, or the adventurous Bronco, they've got you covered with exceptional selection and service right here in your city. Big West Ford, driven by you. Visit Big West Ford at 18208 Stony Plain Road or online at bigwestford.com.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Real Canadian Superstore is your one-stop shop. Check out their flyer for their PC Optimum offers, deals on club size and no-name items. Always low-priced everyday items. There are so many ways to save for real at the Real Canadian Superstore.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
2-0 hockey game in favor of St. Louis. Robert Thomas and Pavel Buchnevich each with a goal and an assist, as the Blues scored twice within the game's first 5 minutes. Now the Oilers, an offensive zone draw. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you from our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. St. Louis cashed in on a power play, needed just a few seconds to do it, so the Oilers' Napa penalty kill has also been touched up. And now, yet another face-off switch as Nugent Hopkins chased out of the circle, replaced by Evander Kane. Circle right of St. Louis starter Jordan Binnington. Thomas won the draw behind the net. Falk cleared it up the left-hand side, did not get it out. Second effort, Torrey Krug off the toe of the stick. Evander Kane tried to work it down low, and the Blues eventually able to poke it free. Back to neutral, lead pass, and Brandon Saad was there, but the pass was not on target. Otherwise, that would have been a breakaway. Evander Kane gets it out with help from Matthias Janmark, scrambling back into his own zone. Bolduc enough to draw the icing call whistled against Edmonton. 9:22 to play in the first period. And another poor start for the Edmonton Oilers. Looking for a win at home to finish this 5-game homestand at 2-2-1. Next up, Seattle. And that'll be a Saturday afternoon tilt right here on the Oilers Radio Network. Bob and Cam will have that one. It's a strange back-to-back. The Oilers will fly out of Seattle following the matinee and arrive in plenty of time for a Sunday night date with the Pittsburgh Penguins, who will be in Calgary the night before. Evander Kane chipping and charging. Left wing centering pass just over the reach of Matthias Janmark and out to Kevin Hayes for St. Louis at center. Regained by Nugent Hopkins.
Jack Janmark's had 2 opportunities to make plays. Been reaching both times. He's been in the right spot. Hasn't been able to finish off.
Bouchard a dart up the middle. Floated in by Dylan Holloway. Connor Brown over. Holloway a wrap-up situation. Hayes trying to pry that puck free. It trickles free and kicked out to Bouchard for a blast and a glove save made by Jordan Binnington. 5-2 lifetime against Edmonton. The other end, Stuart Skinner coming off a return to form type of performance, Bob. He was terrific against LA with 38 saves, particularly on the penalty kill when he made 6 in a row.
Yeah, he had a good start. The Oilers a poor start tonight, and they're chasing out of the gate against the goalie that's one more than he's lost against him. Jordan Binnington, what a story he was in 18-19.
Since then, the save percentage has declined 4 straight years until this season, where he's back up to a .909. Nurse, a shot from the left point, redirected out to Ceci. Right point shot, likewise blocked by Jake Neighbors. Down the right-hand side, Kevin Hayes. He'll shovel it in. Braden Shen, the St. Louis captain, mired in a goal-scoring drought without one in his last 10. The Oilers lift it back, and all of a sudden it's 2-on-1. Nurse and Derek Ryan. Nurse centers, and everyone plows into Binnington, and the net dislodged from its moorings, and the Oilers don't end up getting a shot out of a promising 2-on-1.
Darnell had to give the puck up earlier, and Blues ended up selling out there.
I'm going to give Scandella some credit there.
Well, he's got to either put the puck on the net or make the pass.
Yeah, he's got to saucer it.
Right.
He's got to commit to the saucer and hope it lands perfectly for Derek Ryan. But Scandella, the veteran D-man.
I mean, that's a clean 3-on-1 for Edmonton.
Yeah.
You don't even get a shot. You can always shoot it off of him.
Toropchenko was late coming back. He might have been able to get his stick on that cross-seamer. Ended up plowing into his own goaltender. Binnington's none the worse for wear, and off the neutral zone draw, it comes back into the St. Louis zone. Draisaitl pressing against Parayko, who clears with ease up the right-hand side as we approach 8 minutes to go in this first period. St. Louis 2, Edmonton no score. Draisaitl dumps it in pursuit. Zach Hyman against Nick Leddy. The puck fished out of the corner for Kyrou. He'll reverse up the right-hand side, but not out. Ekholm comes over, puts it on the tape of Leon Draisaitl. Now Jordan Kyrou breaking free for Thomas. Kyrou, open ice, over the line. Dishes, quick shot, Parayko, fought off Skinner. Up near the clavicle on his right-hand side. Thomas gave it away to Bouchard, rolled it over to Ekholm. Buchnevich disrupting. Draisaitl didn't get it out. Buchnevich walked back toward the middle, only to be intercepted by Bouchard, who lays it free for Matthias Ekholm. Left to right come the Oilers. Lead pass, Hyman. Bobbled up at the St. Louis line. His return pass to Bouchard ends up sailing down to Skinner. He'll curl it over to Ekholm, and up the left-hand side, now it's going to be Ryan McLeod. Steered to Warren Fogle. Right wing shot, save Binnington. Rebound hopped over the stick of Fogle and brought the other way by Oscar Sundqvist of St. Louis. Turned over by the Blues. Shoveled right back in by Brett Kulak. Now Torrey Krug takes a peek up the left-hand side. Did not get it out. Shot redirected. What a save, Binnington. Rebound, Krug comes up with a puck. Up the middle of the ice and now out. Up the right-hand side. I'm not sure. Well, they're going to give Alexandrov a puck touch there. No icing. And Skinner finds an open Ryan McLeod in the middle of the ice. Up the left-hand side, it's Fogle. Back to McLeod into the attacking zone. Sundqvist got back, made the steal, and Nathan Walker, the Australian, backhands it to the Oiler blue line. 6:25 to go in this first period. The score remains 2-0 in favor of St. Louis. Nugent Hopkins lays it off. Matthias Janmark trying to glide his way around Scandella. That does not pan out. Janmark snatches it right back, gives it up for Ceci. Open man, it's Kulak, a shot, and right into the breadbasket of Jordan Binnington, who's able to freeze it. The shots are even, the game is not. Blues 2, and the Oilers no score. How about this Jake Neighbors, Bob? I mean, the 4 periods he's played, it's been hard to quibble with this game. Heck of a second-year player.
Well, it tells you just how good a player the Edmonton Oil Kings had, because the Montreal Canadiens love Caden Dooley, and Arizona right now they don't have a lot going on, but Dylan Gunther might be.
Yeah, they can't keep Dylan Gunther in the minors. They wanted to, but he's too good.
But Jake, I just remember him turning the entire tide of the series 2022 against Seattle Jack with a massive hit on Matt Rempe. Yes, that Matt Rempe.
Well, to be honest with you, I look at that St. Louis captain, Braden Shen, and Neighbors has several of his qualities. I mean, he's going to be a good player. He already is a good player. Lead pass right-hand side, Zach Hyman. Darnell Nurse curled it in front of the St. Louis net. That eluded McDavid. Neighbors right on cue with a clear to Brandon Saad. He'll dump it in. Saad's been hot lately. 4 goals in his last 6. Skinner off to McDavid. Tried to skate away, but broken up as 2 layers closed on him. Nick Leddy calmly over to Colton Parayko. He'll skate to the red line and lift it behind the Oiler defense. And once again, Edmonton's top unit forced to change. 5:10 to go in the first period. Oilers down 2. Holloway up the middle. Poke checked and eventually shoveled right back in by Derek Ryan, who did not practice yesterday. A little bit of maintenance for Ryan, who got banged up in that heated clash with Los Angeles on Monday, where the Oilers had to rally to beat the Kings 4-2. Sent in deep. Brown. His speed negates icing, so the fourth line goes to work. Brown, Ryan, and Holloway. It's Derek Ryan behind the net. Angled to Ekholm, across to Bouchard, back to Ekholm, left point blast, and that was redirected. Ryan trying to get one on net. It's over the outstretched right glove of Connor Brown, and when Bouchard tried to give it back to Ryan, he was not yet established at the point position. Line change St. Louis. Derek Ryan ambles his way to center. He'll shoot it in and charge against Binnington, who calmly plays it over to Parayko. Blues look to work it up the right-hand side, and Robert Thomas spins his way out of the zone. Scandella will activate left wing, try to get around Desharnais, whose long reach forced him wide. Out to Buchnevich. One-timer coming, and that one blistered on net, and a save made by Stuart Skinner. Buchnevich shovels it over to Jordan Kyrou. Left it in the corner for Thomas. Telegraphed the pass. Busted up by McLeod. Held in by Scandella and Tyler Talker. Now Thomas tried to give it to Kyrou a second time. Eventually Buchnevich. The Oilers are going to collapse on this puck in the corner. It's Desharnais on it, and he locates Ryan McLeod with a burst of speed up through center. He'll give it up. In. Shot save made Binnington. Rebound, and that was blocked. Another rebound. Save on Fogle. Jordan Binnington with a good save first on Kulak and then Fogle. And the one that probably had the best chance to go in was blocked in front of the net, I believe, by Alexandrov with a tremendous shot block. And the Oilers, for now, held off the scoreboard. 3.5 to play in the first period. 2-0 St. Louis. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
Foreigner, live in Edmonton. Foreigner is back. The Farewell Canada Tour.
You're as cold as ice.
Friday, May 10th, Rogers Place. Foreigner, with special guest, Headpins. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.ca. Foreigner, the Farewell Canada Tour.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, and breathtaking views. Experience resort-like amenities including a full-time concierge, yoga and fitness studios, golf simulator, plus indoor and outdoor lounges for you to live your best life. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com and make your home high above the ordinary.
Experience a game day meal that's second to none. Fanfare with Skip is your all-star lineup of local restaurants this hockey season. Watch Jack Michaels as he goes behind the scenes to give you the play-by-play action on each restaurant's connection to the community and our team. Visit EdmontonOilers.com/fanfare to watch this month's episode with Miss Saigon. Then open your Skip app and tap in an order with exclusive fan access to game day combos and free delivery.
Did somebody say Skip?
Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
2-0 hockey game for the St. Louis Blues. Warren Foegele denied after an initial quality stop by Binnington on Brett Kulak. So the score remains in favor of St. Louis. Nugent Hopkins, Kane, and Janmark will line up for an O-zone draw. And once again, Nugent Hopkins waved out of the circle. This time, Janmark will take it and win the faceoff. Kane sends it to Kulak. Desharnais on to Nugent Hopkins. Had a goal and an assist in the win over LA, and that one hurt Torrey Krug. Blocked the shot on Nugent Hopkins, but he paid for it. He'll try to gut it out. Desharnais to Kulak. His shot intercepted on its way to the net by Justin Falk and carried out by Brandon Saab. He's cut off by Desharnais at the Edmonton blue line, rifled back in immediately by Nathan Walker. Sundqvist in on the forecheck, Kulak the outlet, and here's Janmark pitchforking it in deep. Played to Nick Leddy by Binnington up the left-hand side, out of the reach of Alexandrov, whose shot block on Foegele probably saved a goal moments ago, and now the puck inadvertently tossed out of play with 2:47 to go in the first period. Lucky fan in the third row. Look what I found. Hands the puck to her companion, who I'm sure will talk tomorrow about how he speared a 100-mile-an-hour slapper.
Nobody ever does that.
Yeah. So, we'll have a neutral zone face-off here upcoming. With Edmonton trailing 2-0 again. Thomas, a power play goal for his 20th, just 2:19 into the game. That was followed 2.5 minutes later by Pavel Buchnevich's 24th of the year. He scored in the last game against Edmonton, had a hat trick recently against the Islanders. He stays hot. And the Blues right now have a 2-goal lead. They've dropped 4 of 5 since that win over Edmonton. Leon Draisaitl dishing. McDavid, beautiful move. Shot save made by Binnington. A tremendous stop point blank on McDavid, who was looking to snap a 10-game goalless drought of his own. Of course, he's piled up the assists in that stretch. Here's a steal and a backhander off the rush by Parayko that sails wide. Kevin Hayes whiffed on a wrist shot and then smartly just puts it down low for Brandon Saab. Cross ice to Nick Leddy. On to Hayes, a shot that hits Skinner. I'm not sure he ever saw it, Bob. Hayes looking for the rebound, but Bouchard's on it firsthand. And now he'll break out up the left-hand side. Bouchard weaving his way in. Poke check from behind, and that's going to be a penalty. Caught reaching, and one that in retrospect Kevin Hayes would probably tell you he'd like to avoid. At the end of his shift, and he trips up Evan Bouchard, and for the first time tonight, the Edmonton Oilers will go on the Atco power play. Scored a big goal the other night against Los Angeles to get the game tied before the end of the second period. And I start thinking back to, again, Monday against LA, where the Oilers scored late in the first period.
Yep, different game.
Yeah, you have a different feeling going into the dressing room if you're able to cash in.
Oilers third in the league in the power play, 27.4%. St. Louis 16th in the league in the PK at 79 point.
Wayne Gretzky, 33. Here's a chance for Warren Foegele down low off a dump in. Unable to get a shot away. Ryan McLeod staying with it against Toropchenko. Squirts free to Cody Ceci. Guided over to Nurse. His shot, and that's snatched by Binnington and held with 1:13 left in the period. Nugent Hopkins, an illness kind of not only sidelined him for one game, but probably limited his effectiveness for the next two. But since getting healthy, he's been active, and he lands on the score sheet as well. A key power play goal brought to you by Atco. Atco Energy, your power play sponsor once again.
All the way up here, Jack, with Nugent Hopkins and Kane.
Off the draw. Controlled by St. Louis. Buchnevich to middle of the ice. Taken by Justin Falk. He'll gain the line. Nugent Hopkins able to close quickly. And force a giveaway by Kyrou. Evander Kane lobs it up the left-hand side. Drop pass Dylan Holloway. Centering. Deflected in front. Binnington can't find it. Kyrou did. And out of the fray, he finds Buchnevich with under a minute to play in this first period. And the Oilers very much back in the game, and so is their crowd. Score is 2-1 St. Louis. Desharnais having trouble with a puck in the corner. Now he pries it loose and resets with a half minute to go in the period. Holloway will shoot it in from center. Parayko first on the puck for St. Louis. Has it stolen by McDavid. Got back in it, forced it free. Nick Leddy was able to bounce one back through center. Boy, that took some weird hops, and eventually is going to be iced inadvertently by Oscar Sundqvist with 12 seconds remaining in this first period. And the score, 2-1, Zach Hyman. Another power play goal. And I believe for Hyman, that's now 12 on the year. Leon Draisaitl, 15.
Yep.
Of course, Zach Hyman leads everyone with 18 third-period goals. Power play has come through in the clutch, and so has Hyman. McDavid wins the draw. Draisaitl, top of the circle. Ceci for the equalizer. A blast and a save made by Binnington, and that one hurt him. With 5 seconds to go, a high riser. And Binnington able to make the save to preserve the lead, but he paid a price for that one.
See, I'd have Bouchard out here with 5.5 seconds left if you do win the draw.
Might as well let him tee up one of those 97-mile-an-hour heaters.
And
Draisaitl will take the draw.
even if he hits the goalie, it hurts, especially there.
Hyman stacked in the slot.
You know what I'm saying?
Face off, yeah, I think we all know what you're saying. Kevin Hayes ripped around the right-hand side, and that will be the horn. So the Oilers get one back after a tough start, to say the least. I mean, the Oilers sleepwalking for much of the first 5 minutes, falling behind 2-0. Getting one back late in the first period, as they did on Monday night against Los Angeles. And I feel like that has to change the complexion a little bit, because remember, the Blues are on the second of a back-to-back.
Yep.
They're a team that relies heavily on their top six.
And they were good. That top line was good. They were buzzing early. Edmonton was lucky, Jack, to survive not being down worse than 2-0 through the first 8 to 10 minutes of this game. They started working their way back into the game. Obviously capitalized on the power play. They got to push the pace. St. Louis has got some smaller D that can really move the puck, but you got to take them on one-on-one.
Yeah, you can overpower them a little bit down low.
You know what? Krug and Falk, they want to handle the puck. They don't necessarily.
They're not great defenders.
They don't want to handle you.
You're right.
And so Edmonton's got to attack with speed here, pick up the energy level. I did think there were some moments for the Foegele-McLeod line that gave them some juice as well. And again, St. Louis playing the back of the back. The Oilers, I don't know if they're going to win the game, but I expect Edmonton to outshoot St. Louis about 25-15 here the rest of the way. They need to get after them a bit here. I mean, it's hard playing second of back-to-back. That's not the easiest one in the league.
Well, and again, you played in Winnipeg last night, so it's not just down the road in Calgary either. So 2-1 for the Blues. Thomas and Buchnevich with the goals in the first 5 minutes. Thomas's goal coming on the power play. Both teams converted their only chance with the man advantage as Zach Hyman got Edmonton on the board. Boy, has he just been not even a revelation. He's just steadily improved throughout his late 20s. 39 goals on the season. Entered tonight on pace for 56. McDavid and Nugent-Hopkins with the helpers. And that goal gets the crowd in the game and obviously changes the feeling in the respective dressing rooms. 2-1 for St. Louis. Nevertheless, 20 minutes complete. Reed Wilkins and Rob Brown waiting patiently on the other side. This is Four Dealers NHL Hockey live from our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. The Oilers Radio Network.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes all of Oil Country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
Stay connected with your community and enjoy the latest updates and exclusive access to concerts and events by becoming a 630 CHED Insider. Don't miss out on a single moment.
Sign up now at 630ched.com.
And click on CHED Insider Newsletter to become a vital part of Edmonton's premier news and talk community. 630 CHED, Edmonton's news, today's talk.
Where Edmonton stays informed and entertained.
The team was really happy with the effort and maybe the defensive awareness and just the way things went defensively. Last game that's kind of not an easy thing to carry over, but something that you can carry over to tonight.
Yeah, that's something I think, obviously when we play against LA, it's a really good team, and for us to be able to play better structurally and more committed on the defensive end, I think that was a big reason why we won that game. So I think that's definitely a performance and effort that we can duplicate and do again today.
Is that I don't know if it's a harder game to play, or is it more different than a lot of times you guys can kind of freewheel and outscore?
Yeah.
Or is it different playing those kinds of games?
I mean, that's what this time of the year is all about. There's not many of those freewheeling, open up type of games. I think every team is preparing to play the same way as the calendar gets later and later into the year. And for us, it's those type of games that we played a couple nights ago. That's what it's going to take to win here down the stretch.
For pretty much the entire regular season here, the D pairings have stayed mostly the same. Maybe just a thought on kind of with that level of consistency, how comfortable you get with each other's game and what the benefits can be of not a lot of changes.
Yeah, I think it's nice. Obviously, there's not even just with partner to partner, but the whole group of six. There's a lot of ownership in our group, and a lot of a ton of cohesion. And I think every guy in there really cares about the guy beside him, and I think that's been a huge part of why our D-core has continued to grow and be better and better as the years gone on. Is because there's that level of commitment to each other, and all the amount of work and sacrifice that we put in side by side. I think it's brought the group really close.
One of the things Chris did when he got here was he had you guys all sit together in the locker room. Not like this is no one's ever done that before, but what would you say about that? And kind of, do you like it that way? What are your sort of comments on it now, a few months later?
Yeah, no, I think it's good. I think when you're in the heat of the battle in the middle of a game, obviously you have some conversations on the bench, but with everything going on in the stands and on the ice, sometimes when you get to the room and you're able to decompress and think about it a little bit more, and you're able to just look at the guy beside you and have a conversation. It makes life a little easier, as opposed sometimes you'd have to scream across the room and in order just to get a conversation. So it's nice to be all together, and it's a small thing, but I think it's something we've definitely made the most of.
Darnell, when you compare this past month to before the All-Star break, when you guys were playing your best hockey, obviously the goals against has creeped up again. Can you talk about how challenging it is to keep that mental discipline, to be committed on the defensive side of the puck day in and day out?
Yeah, I mean that's what makes teams good in this league, is if you're able to bring it day after day. And I think you look back to the stretch where we win lots of games, and you could probably look at a few games and say those could have got away from us, and then there were some big moments that we were able to win, and there's been some stretches here where since we've gotten back from the break, where there's been big moments where we weren't able to make maybe the defensive play or offensive play to bring the game back into reach. So for us, I think just staying committed and the belief that we have in the group and the guys next to us, I think that's been huge to get us even to this point in the season where we've rode the highs and lows of the season, to both extremes, it feels like. So for us to look at the whole picture and not just a week or a game at a time, and see that our group has done a lot of good things, and defensively, if you paint the same picture and create the same process of wanting to check the right way, more nights than not you're going to get the right result, and I think that's just our focus here.
Speaking of processes, how about the process of trying to adjust your game with so many games in a short period of time and just kind of troubleshooting that amidst all the game action right now?
I mean, it's been nice, actually, if I'm being honest. The beginning of the year, and I mean, we've had 5-day breaks and 3-day breaks, 4-day breaks all sprinkled in, so it's just been nice just to go out and play and and get into that rhythm. I mean, that's, when you get into the middle of the season, sometimes, people call it the dog days, and it can be, it feels like every day just piles on top of the other, but I feel like we've managed it and handled it, and now we're getting to the point here where, there's a lot of games being played over a short period of time, but there's not a lot of games left in the season, and it shows the importance of each and every night and each and every point that we have with this group, and I think this is the time of year where, as a group, we really look forward to playing.
Are you guys used to Coach Coffey and the other way around, and the expectations and this point?
Oh yeah, I would say so. I think as a group, you know what to expect. He's a straight shooter, but Coach has so much belief in us as a group and what we're capable of doing out there on the ice. And I can't speak for him and what he thinks of us, but I hope it's the same.
Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation Mighty Millions Lottery. You could win the $2.6 million grand.
Allowed less than 3 goals since the All-Star break.
I think just our details to the game. Stewie was obviously huge for us again, and just I think throughout the entire lineup, everyone kind of stuck with it and stuck to their jobs, and defended well.
Can you just talk about the third period performance of this team? I think it was a tough time that you guys were tied going into the third and ended up with a win. Can you point to anything this year on the way you guys have played in the third period?
Yeah, it seems to be a little bit of our strength this season so far. Obviously, that's a good thing to have. That's a positive to be a good third period team. That's going to help us a lot going down the stretch. But obviously, there's times where we'd like to go into the third period with a lead and just get it over with. So, but definitely a strength of ours.
Your deflection, is that a planned play you've been working on, or was that just an organic play?
No, I think it was just a nice play by Bushi. Really good read. Obviously, with the diamond kill that a lot of teams are doing now, there's a little pocket in the middle that can be exposed, and it's really nice read by Bushi.
It felt like there were a lot of people pulling on the rope last night. You had some different guys on the ice late in the game. You had some guys on the penalty kill, pretty clutch. Like, this team kind of at its best when everybody's pulling on it a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't win in this league with 2 lines, 4 defensemen. We need everybody in here, and that was a great indicator last night of how we need to play every night, and everyone contributed. PK was massive for us at a really big time in the game. So it's a good game by everyone.
Leon, 5-5-1 in your last 11 games coming out of the All-Star break. As a leader in this room, as a go-to person in this room, what's the message you're conveying to the rest of the group when you guys are hoping to string together a few good games?
I mean, it's pretty black and white when we keep the puck out of our net. I think we're really hard to beat. You saw it last night, and just I think a little bit of the just sticking to it a little longer, sticking with it, not opening it up too early, even if we're down a goal or two. We've seen it a lot this year that if we stick through it and grind through some ups and downs, momentum swings in games, that we'll be all right.
It seems a little goofy that we would be asking McDavid about offense, but he all these assists that he's piling up over and over, and he joked yesterday just not going to shoot anymore. What do you make of just the level of playmaking that he's displaying right now and kind of the narrative around it?
Yeah, I mean, it's elite. Obviously, it always has been. That's just the way it goes sometimes with offensive guys, right? One year you score more, the next year you set up more, but making plays and setting your teammates up is just as important as putting the puck in the net. If not more important, right? Who's going to put the puck in the net if you don't have someone giving it to you? He makes a lot of stuff happen. He creates a lot, and obviously has the eyes and awareness to find his teammates.
Leon, just to flash back to Saturday for a sec, if you don't mind. What do you think again, Mark's fight? And he was.
Yeah, it was pretty feisty there. I like that about Yanni. He's a gamer. He knows when to step in and do his job, and obviously. On top of that, he's been playing some really, really good hockey for us. Again, he has been for the last 3 years. So, very, very fortunate to have him.
Just piggybacking after Chager's question there with Connor McDavid packing up the assists right now. I know Zach Cassian a couple of years ago called you the human apple tree. Is it safe to say Connor's giving you a run for your money right now?
He certainly is, yeah. I think he's the human apple tree right now, and he can have that. That's his slogan now, I guess. So yeah, he can have it.
Stollery Children's Hospital. By now at Mike Deans.
There's some games lately where you look at maybe you've been skating really well. Do you feel like you're starting to get more involved in sort of the guts of the game and get the pace going for yourself?
Yeah, I think so. I think, big thing for me is just get my legs going early, try and play physical, create some energy for the boys. So I feel like I've been doing that, and just continue to do that.
You're also in a role in which, if it's a penalty-filled game or depending on the flow of the game, there could be some gaps between shifts. How have you learned how to manage that recently?
Yeah, I think the hardest part about that is just mentally you got to stay pretty dialed. Sometimes it's a little hard when you're resting on the bench there for a bit and kind of get the legs going a bit, but through TV timeouts you kind of get out there, buzz around a bit, and kind of try and stay fresh. And then every opportunity you get, you try and make the most of it.
How much, when this team is at its best, there's contributions kind of coming from everywhere, not just goals, but momentum shifting shifts, hits, and that sort of thing. Yeah. How much do you guys, on the third and fourth lines, talk about that, about just finding ways to shift momentum? Whether it's scoring goals or not. Yeah,
I think that's definitely our goal. Before we go out for shifts, sometimes let's have a good one. Let's go bang some bodies or something. But I think the biggest thing for us, kind of in the bottom six there, is just kind of create momentum when we can, try and create energy, and try and set guys up for good shifts after us.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, it seems like a long time ago, he used to be a center all the time, and now, of course, he seems to play more wing. Ryan McLeod's done it. You do it a bit. How would you kind of compare center and wing, and what you feel maybe right now you're most suited to feel more comfortable at?
Yeah, I think center, you definitely get more puck touches. It's a bigger role, you're more responsible defensively, opposed to the wing where you're just kind of up by your D-men. But, I think for me, I'm comfortable in either position. Center, you kind of get more puck touches and you get a little bit involved. So I like that part about playing center, but I like playing both positions.
Dylan, Southern Alberta connection. You cross paths with Jake Neighbours at all, or play against him along the way?
Yeah. Growing up, played against him a little bit. He's obviously an incredible player. And then throughout the summers here, I've ran into him quite a bit. So I'd say I'm pretty good buddies with him. We don't hang out regularly, but when I do see him, it's pretty fun. I see him at Stampede every year, so it's fun to cross paths with him there.
Nice guy off the ice, pain to play against, probably.
Yeah, probably a good way to put it. Yeah, he plays hard, plays the game the right way, and then off the ice, he's a great guy.
backhanded in deep. Skinner out to cut it off. Plays to Kulak. Quickly Janmark boots it out. Into the middle of the ice, Nugent Hopkins. Drop pass, Brown. Back to Nugent Hopkins. He scores.
Pay later. Plus, spin and win a TV, Dyson vacuum, an iPad, or a trip to Vegas with your purchase.
Visit City Ford on the St. Albert Trail.
Camco is more than just a trusted local name. Camco has been building industry across Canada for more than 60 years. From engineering through to commissioning, construction, maintenance, and beyond, Camco's multidiscipline approach stands firmly on the belief that Camco cares. It's not just what they do, it's how they do it. Visit Camco.com and discover how they can support your project today. Camco, proud fans of the Edmonton Oilers, serving and supporting communities across Canada for over 60 years.
It takes some courage to get out there and travel. You never know if your bags might mysteriously vanish, or if that guacamole is going to come back to haunt you, or if the plane just never takes off in the first place. But through it all, you have a partner in Alberta Blue Cross. Our travel insurance lets you take the security of home with you, wherever you go. Whatever life brings, be ready for it. Find travel insurance today at ab.bluecross.ca.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
St. Louis 2, Edmonton 1 as we welcome you back inside Rogers Place. A reminder, tonight's 50-50 sitting at $330,000, and right now, your early bird prize, you've still got another 45 minutes or so to get your tickets and have a chance to win $500 to Safeway, among others. And again, that's your Oilers 50-50 with the jackpot steadily climbing. Off the draw, you've got Edmonton moving right to left. Evander Kane, a wraparound effort against Binnington, who repels at the far post, and then Kane got it back, only to have it flicked away by the stick of Jordan Binnington. Now a wrist shot and a save made by Binnington off another good look. This one for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. So a good opening shift for Edmonton to start this second period, and that's certainly something you could not say about the opening few shifts of the first period where the Blues build a 2-0 lead. Hyman gets one back on the power play, and here we sit at 2-1. Draisaitl in on the forecheck for the Edmonton Oilers. Justin Falk up the left-hand side, and the captain Braden Shen able to clear for St. Louis. Off a ricochet, Matthias Ekholm will send it across to Evan Bouchard. He'll pound it back to the St. Louis blue line. Opening minute gone by. Second period, the Blues looking to make it 2 in a row over Edmonton. A near terrible giveaway by Toropchenko. Edmonton was unable to pounce on that. And the Blues, having been bailed out, Nick Leddy finds Braden Shen, and the puck slid back behind the Edmonton net. Toropchenko looking to protect in the right corner. Shen covering close by, trying to peel that out of danger. He got drilled from behind by Connor McDavid. That was close. Referees tonight, Carter Sandlack and Trevor Hansen. Linesmen Caleb Apperson and Tommy Hughes. Oilers move it through the middle. Zach Hyman first on the puck behind the St. Louis net. He's able to skate away from traffic, only to have Nick Leddy come over and knife it free for Braden Shen. Shen had his stick lifted, but Toropchenko was there to chip it safely back to the red line. Bouchard back on the puck for Edmonton with Jake Neighbors hovering close by. He'll peel off on a change. The outlet to Fogle is broken up, and St. Louis will snap it back to center. Matthias Ekholm waits for Fogle to tag back onside and then flips it back in. Retrieved by Leddy. Away from the sliding Fogle, who took himself out of the play. Parayko to the middle of the ice. Zach Bolduc to Leddy. And it's dumped back in. Shots in that first period, 12-8 for the Oilers. Fogle, middle of the ice. Batted down by Kevin Hayes, whose late penalty cost St. Louis dearly. Bolduc a shot off the rush and a save made by Stuart Skinner. Bolduc scored his first goal in the National Hockey League on his 21st birthday. Warren Fogle in across the line. Here's Ryan McLeod. Fogle wrapped around the boards. Vinny Desharnais, right point, waiting. Sending it down low. Fogle, beautiful pass in front, and McLeod just did not get a shot away. Nary a goal for Ryan McLeod in his last 14 games. Lead pass, Tyler Tucker, and that was after McLeod and Fogle really carried the mail for much of Edmonton's 16-game winning streak. They were point-per-game players, but both have tailed off in recent weeks. Sundqvist in for St. Louis into the attacking zone. Tried to feed the middle of the net for Alexandrov, but that was broken up. Justin Falk back at his own blue line, looking for Torrey Krug up the gut. Alexandrov again unable to come up with it, and the Oilers move it back into the St. Louis zone. Krug the outlet. Played cross ice to Justin Falk up the right-hand side. Alexandrov sent in deep. Cody Ceci put it up the board. Sundqvist tried to cut it off. Exits the zone for Nick Leddy. Alexandrov will take a skate.
St. Louis been a little bit quicker on pucks here after a tough first shift. Oilers need to get the feet moving.
Nick Leddy with Nugent Hopkins on him. Through the middle. Drilled by Darnell Nurse up the middle of the ice, but Robert Thomas able to take it away. A little behind Jordan Kyrou, who's assisted on both St. Louis goals. They've changed that a couple of times. Kyrou assists on both now. A blast by Parayko, a blocker save made by Skinner. The rebound, Nugent Hopkins guides it ahead for Janmark. The outlet to Darnell Nurse. Into the zone for Evander Kane. Could not handle the pass. It was on edge, took a tough hop. Leddy able to one-hand it over to Buchnevich.
Jack, two 2-on-1s in this game. And
haven't completed.
Haven't had a shot on goal.
No, haven't. Passes have not been completed. For the second period, the Oilers have erased that miserable start. Brand new hockey game and 35 minutes left to play. Justin Falk sees it guided in by Neighbors. Blues flipped a puck in. They were in the zone prematurely, and when Toropchenko left Bouchard, it gave him eyes to see Hyman and McDavid hovering near the St. Louis blue line. Desharnais at the St. Louis blue line. McLeod a shot. And that was sent wide. Rebound, Brett Kulak. Down low for Justin Falk. He'll move it up the left-hand side for Jake Neighbors, and now streaking into the play. Toropchenko to the net, denied by Skinner. And the rebound covered with 5 1/2 gone by. And the Oilers having forged a 2-2 tie for Evan Bouchard, by the way. That's now 57 points. He crawls into a tie for 5th. In the league lead in scoring amongst defensemen. Of course, he's tied with Mackenzie Weegar with 15 goals. Hyman 40, Bob.
There you go.
I mean, look, I had high hopes for the Hyman signing.
Too.
I didn't think he'd have 40 goals inside of 60 games at any point during the life of the contract. I honestly didn't.
Neither did I.
I thought in a big year, if Maroon gets 27, well, maybe Zach Hyman would get 40 in a complete season, not in 58 games or 57. Here's a shot from the point. Redirected. Darnell Nurse, Derek Ryan behind the net for Dylan Holloway. Poke checked away. Tyler Tucker up the boards. CC a shot fought off by Binnington. Rebound nudge just wide. Holloway with good pressure right in front of the St. Louis crease. Scandella unable to clear. Derek Ryan put it around the boards where it'll be funneled out by Zach Bolduc. Nurse takes it from Ceci and now gives ground. St. Louis will peel off on a change. Nurse finds McDavid right wing. Broken up by Scandella. The Oilers are trying those stretch passes. Yep. They feel like St. Louis is vulnerable on changes. Here's Robert Thomas working his way through the middle. Buchnevich puts the brakes on. Fending off Leon Draisaitl, who eventually takes the puck from him. Draisaitl, a 3-on-2 maybe. Up the right-hand side for McDavid. Across, broken up. Kyrou filling the lane, did not get it out though. Bouchard, drop pass. McDavid had it stripped away by Robert Thomas. And now he and Kyrou are away. Thomas could not thread the needle on Bouchard. And now Zach Hyman with a nifty move through the neutral zone. Attacking zone left wing. He backs his way in. Chip to the corner by Parayko defending for St. Louis, and the outlet to Jordan Kyrou. Nick Leddy hits center ice, the Edmonton blue line, and he makes sure to dump it in deep. 12:45 to go in the second period, and Edmonton has rallied from an early 2-0 deficit to tie the game at 2. Zach Hyman has both goals. Here's a blast by Krug and a save made by goaltender Stuart Skinner. Falk, a shot. That doesn't make its way through. Oilers come up with it. Bouchard in puck possession. Bob Hyman didn't have a hat trick prior to arriving in Edmonton. What does he have? 3 now, right?
He's been pretty good, Jack.
Broken up. Here's a drop-off. Alexandrov, a shot. That was fought off by Skinner as Alexandrov looking for his first of the year. Kane to Nugent-Hopkins, and the Oilers come thundering the other way. Kane could not free himself for a shot. Nathan Walker up to Oscar Sundqvist, and it's lifted back behind the Oiler defense. Darnell Nurse with 12 minutes to play in period 2 through Nugent-Hopkins and Kane. Braden Shen tried to get it in deep, but it was knocked down by Cody Ceci. He'll press the issue. Up the middle of the ice, bounced around through Kane. Faking the one-timer Nugent-Hopkins. Rifle to Kane, left circle shot. And that was rocketed up on the plexi and sailed back to center. On a deflection, Darnell Nurse once again will reset for Edmonton. Oiler line change. Nurse, Ceci, right side spilled in by Fogle. Binnington out to handle. Corey Perry cut it off. Behind the net, pursued by Braden Shen, who's able to pry the puck loose and then find Colton Parayko. The Blues back on the attack. Neighbors could not work his way through Brett Kulak. Desharnais around the boards to Warren Fogle. Right to left comes Edmonton, and the crowd urging the Oilers on. Fogle beats one man. Tried to kick it back to the point. That was swallowed up. And barreling the other way comes Braden Shen. Is he guilty of icing? Yes, that's a tough call on the St. Louis captain. Edmonton will get an attacking zone draw here with 10:58 to go in period 2. The Oilers have climbed out of a 2-0 hole to tie it up at Rogers Place.
Jack, as you know, with Evan Bouchard now picking up an assist on that goal, he is up to 57 points in the season, and that is most in a season since Paul for an Oilers defenseman.
Coffey, 87.
Coffey in 86, 87. There you go.
Face off, win for Braden Shen, and that was just a matter of time, obviously. I mean, he's doing things that no Oiler defenseman has done since Coffey was here, and he's got a chance to become the first 20-goal guy since Sheldon Surrey from the back end. 10:55 to go, second period. Puck out of play. We'll come right back. The game tied at 2 in period 2 from Rogers Place's Ford Dealers NHL Hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
Can drinking a little less alcohol give you the energy you want?
6 a.m. workout? You're on.
The sleep you need?
No more tossing and turning.
And the glow you're after?
I look and feel better.
Moderation. It's worth it. Be inspired at drinksensab.ca. A message from AGLC.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. You know what I'm a fan of? Alberta. The wide open spaces, the highways and byways, and a rugged, beautiful terrain that I'm proud to call home. Maybe that's why I'm also a fan of my Ford F-150. It's tough, capable, and smart, which makes it a natural fit for roads like these. So if it's a new truck you're looking for, look no further than the truck Albertans love to drive, F-150. Head into your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
For years now, we've been warning Edmontonians on the hazards of our stormwater facilities. While they may appear to look like still ponds, there is moving water beneath the surface, which makes the ice dangerously... The unpredictability of stormwater facilities makes them treacherously unsafe for all winter activities, even walking. So think twice. Don't go on the ice. A safety message from EPCOR.
Can drinking a little less alcohol give you the energy you want?
6 a.m. workout? You're on.
The sleep you need?
No more tossing and turning.
And the glow you're after?
I look and feel better.
Moderation. It's worth it. Be inspired at drinksensab.ca. A message from AGLC.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
The emergence of Zach Hyman as one of the league's top goal scorers continues to bemuse my broadcast partner and yours truly. It's Jack and Bob with you live from the 8th floor of Rogers Place. Zach Hyman now with 40 goals. The only man who has more in the entire league is his one-time line mate, Austin Matthews of Toronto. Zach Hyman has always run with heady company, Bob, and now he's pulled alongside them in terms of production. Off the draw. Oilers with a puck in the offensive zone looking for their first lead. McDavid dishing off to Draisaitl, rolling down the right-hand side of the offensive zone as return pass to the point, intercepted and cleared by Brandon Saad, and taken over by Matthias Ekholm inside his own blue line. We're almost halfway through this hockey game. Oilers spotted St. Louis a quick 2-0 lead. They've come back to tie. Both goals by Hyman, a blast by Bouchard, and that just missed. Prior to last season, Zach Hyman hadn't even had a hat trick. He's got 3 this season, plus the one he got last year in Nashville. So 4 as an Oiler. And the Blues able to make a steal at center and a reset for St. Louis. Under the direction of Drew Bannister, both teams let their coaches go following a shaky start. For the Oilers, it came 12 games in. St. Louis waited another 12 or 15 before replacing Craig Berube, who, of course, won the franchise's only Stanley Cup. Holloway off a steal. Left wing, cross-ice pass, and that was deflected and sailed into about the 4th row down the tunnel on the opposite side to the right of Edmonton's bench. 9:49 to go in the second period. The game is tied at 2. Thomas and Buchnevich early for St. Louis. Zach Hyman on the power play late in the first and at even strength early in the second. And the National Hockey League has its second 40-goal scorer of the season. His name is Zach Hyman. Our names are Jack and Bob, and we're back in a moment with more Dealers NHL Hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Real Canadian Superstore is your one-stop shop. Check out their flyer for their PC Optimum offers, deals on club size and no-name items. Always low-priced everyday items. There are so many ways to save for real at the Real Canadian Superstore.
Experience a game day meal that's second to none. Fanfare with Skip is your all-star lineup of local restaurants this hockey season. Watch Jack Michaels as he goes behind the scenes to give you the play-by-play action on each restaurant's connection to the community and our team. Visit EdmontonOilers.com/fanfare to watch this month's episode with Miss Saigon. Then open your Skip app and tap in an order with exclusive fan access to game day combos and free delivery.
Did somebody say Skip?
Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
2-2 hockey game, Edmonton, St. Louis, live from Rogers Place. Sellout crowd of 18,347. The Blues have lost only 2 games all year when scoring the first goal of the hockey game. Well, Edmonton gave him the first 2. Zach Hyman has gotten both back, and we are deadlocked with 30 minutes to play. Nugent Hopkins between Kane and Janmark. A face-off to the right of Jordan Binnington. Oilers have outshot the Blues tonight 18-12. Jack and Bob with you live from our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. A flip by St. Louis and a 2-hopper fielded by Stuart Skinner pretty deep in his net. And he elected to cover with 9:38 to go. He'll await a face-off to his right.
Well, they have a player in Robert Thomas. I mean, he's at 52% the face-off circle, 68 points this year, 65 and 77 the prior 2.
He's thicker than he looks, too. He can skate, and he's also strong on his skates.
Yeah. Steve Stales had him in Hamilton in the OHL. He's a special player.
Thomas digs in. Buchnevich back to Krug. His shot does not make it through. Battled for, controlled. Buchnevich looking for that puck in his skates. Taken away by Ryan, a leaping Bushnevich knocked it down, and do we have a slash?
No, they missed it. They missed the broken stick.
There's a broken stick on the ice. Is it just a hand pass?
It's a hand pass. They slashed the stick right out of Derek Ryan's hands.
I thought it was a slashing penalty.
Should have been. They missed it.
So it's going to be a hand pass whistled against St. Louis in the offensive zone.
It's as obvious as you will have in the league. And both refs completely missed it.
Both teams.
I mean, that is
absolute slash from Robert Thomas.
That is embarrassing.
Thomas thought it was a penalty. He didn't realize it was a hand pass whistled against St. Louis. I'll tell you what, if you're the Blues and head coach Drew Bannister, you're taking a hand pass all day.
That's a joke.
Nugent Hopkins able to win the faceoff.
To paraphrase Lindy Ruff, that's a joke.
Here's Darnell Nurse up the gut for Evander Kane. Backhanded in by Matthias Janmark. Both teams have converted their only power play of the night. So you saw that off +1 at even strength, and we're 2-all with 9 minutes to go in the second. Toropchenko tried to duck inside Ceci. Nurse around the boards. Kane fell down, trying to hang with it as Jake Neighbors, but slashing and free Nugent Hopkins back to center and tossed in deep by Toropchenko. Here's Cody Ceci sliding it up the right-hand side. Nugent Hopkins had it picked off. Neighbors. He'll gain the line, try to get through Janmark. Now Cody Ceci busts on over. Nugent Hopkins lays it off the glass. That did not exit the zone. Nugent Hopkins, though, gets it right back and finds Darnell Nurse with an outlet. And Nurse will shoot it in. That's picked up by Jordan Binnington with 8:26 to go in the second period. Oilers will get an attacking zone draw and a stare down involving Evander Kane. Is that Nathan Walker? Boy, I give Walker a lot of credit. I mean, he's 8 years. He's toiled in the American Hockey League, and yet the Blues can't keep him in the minors. He somehow finds his way back up year in, year out.
Of course, had a cup of coffee with the Edmonton Oilers after they claimed him on waivers from Washington.
That was almost a literal cup of coffee. He got 2 games? Yeah. And he, of course, started with Washington. Again,
Pareko.
A Welsh-born Aussie. That's a circuitous path, to say the least, of the National Hockey League.
You really want it batted. Not a lot of those combinations in the league.
Face-off coming. Right side of Binnington. Whenever I hear Welsh, I immediately think of rabbit. Isn't there a famous cuisine, Welsh rabbit? Draw one by Sundqvist. You're not going to help me out.
Not on that one. Sorry, bud.
You're going to take my word for it?
Sure.
Here's Matthias Ekholm around the board, stepping up. Justin Falk. Might be one too many Bugs Bunny coupons for me, or cartoons for me. I don't know. Walker. Krug, a shot blockered away by Stuart Skinner, and that's backhanded by McDavid on to Leon Draisaitl. He'll chip and charge in against Krug. Now getting worked over in the corner was Alexandrov. Sundqvist comes over. Falk with a nifty play to get it to Alexandrov, and the puck does slide outside the zone. Bouchard unable to thread it through Nathan Walker, and he'll dump it right back in for St. Louis as we come up on 7.5 to go in period 2. Connor McDavid is assisted on both Hyman goals against Scandella. Takes him hard to the net. Centers, and somehow that stayed out. I think, did Bolduc get his stick into Hyman right as Hyman was ready to one-time that puck into the net for what would have been his 4th hat trick of the year. That was sitting right there, and between Bolduc and Tucker, they were able to get a piece.
Just so the listeners are aware, the slash that Robert Thomas got away with on Derek Ryan, that gets called 98% of the time. But that was the slash that Darian Hatcher and the Dallas Stars, when they had Craig Ludwig and Hatcher and Richard Mavtichuk, they'd play the Oilers back in the 90s all the time in the playoffs. That was just part of the regular game between those two teams. Did
you see Darian Hatcher when we were in Dallas? He is a mountain of a man. I mean,
he was a mountain of a man when he played.
Well, you forget how big he was, Bob. He was just... He made our colleague Louis DeBrusque look diminutive. Binnington will fall on this one off a loose puck following the faceoff.
As you know, and Darian Hatcher was a 23-minute-a-game defenseman, but he wasn't that interested in squaring up with another mountain of a man by the name of George Larocque. That's a bad trade-off for him in Dallas. But the one guy that got Hatcher late in his career when he was with Detroit, Jerome McGinley. He opened him up pretty good. And Jerome could do that to you. He's got one son playing in Kelowna, another son playing here in Edmonton next season.
Brett Kulak off the draw, a shot and a blocker save made by Binnington up the right-hand side. Reaching forward is Bolduc. Twisted back the other way for Holloway. And now trying to slide through a seam. Unsuccessful in that endeavor was Connor Brown. He was choked off on the half wall, left-hand side. Brandon Saad unable to clear the puck. Brown against Justin Falk, and now Holloway races over, and the Blues are able to clear the puck back through center. Hatcher was the kind of guy, though, Bob. He lost his share of fights, but he was rarely hurt in fights.
No, he knew that.
Falk up the middle. Lead pass, left wing. Faking. Bolduc shooting, and a kick save made by Stuart Skinner.
That's a good shot by Bolduc. You can see why he twice scored 50 in the queue there.
Twice. Holloway will snap it in. Take it in the corner. Put it behind the net for Ryan McLeod. Shadowed by Nick Leddy. Connor Brown in front of the net. McLeod still with possession. Threw it out into the high slot. Warren Fogle did a nice job of keeping the puck clogged up in the offensive zone. McLeod continues to work, and finally Thomas to Kyrou, and it's out of the zone. Nick Leddy gains the line for St. Louis. Threw it around the boards. Battling hard. Kyrou in front. Comes out to Parayko, and his blast is eaten up by Stuart Skinner. And it seems like one of those nights where Skinner may gave up one or two early, and you're just going to have a hard time finding a third one against him. Oiler fans certainly hope that's the case. Skinner and Edmonton has settled down, and as a result, St. Louis's 2-goal lead, ancient history. We're tied at 2, 5:56 to play in period 2, and this is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
At the Chop Leaf, greens for lunch gets you moving. Now you can shake, shake, shake it. Made with fresh greens and vegetables, choose from 9 delicious, oh-so-shakeable salads. Or try it as a wrap or rice bowl. So however you shake it, you'll enjoy something you can feel good about. Visit the Chop Leaf near you or order online today to enjoy some freshness on the go.
MIC is a leader in medical imaging and the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers. Make MIC your choice. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, the game doesn't stop for injury. MIC's sports medicine imaging specialists can help you get back in the game with a timely and expert diagnosis. Go where the pros go. For a location near you, visit mic.ca.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Face-off coming to the left side of Stuart Skinner. And sure enough, we have great listeners saying technically the name of the dish is Welsh Rarebit, but it's also called Welsh Rabbit, according to our friends on the internet. So
thank you very much.
At least we have a few guys listening.
I've never heard of it, but then I don't cook, so
no.
As you can tell.
Bushnievich knocked away. Robert Thomas shoots wide. Here's Torrey Krug. Hovering Jordan Kyrou on the left half boards. Game tied at 2, 5.5 to play here in the second. And now the Blues claiming this should be delay of game. And they might be right here. Darnell Nurse might be sent off.
So you completely miss
the slash. But Nurse goes off for delay of game, and the Blues will get a second power play here late in the second period with a chance to regain the lead. And for the Oilers, it's a clutch Napa Auto Parts penalty kill. And it's a penalty kill unit that's given up a goal in 9 of its last 11 games.
Yeah, and here's the problem here, right? Thomas is a right shot, and he's pretty good on face-offs. And so you need a lefty to go against him. It's going to be McLeod. And this is part of Ryan McLeod's game that has to improve, Jack. On the penalty kill this year, Ryan McLeod's at 29.7%.
Loses the face-off, and it's Krug with a dish off to Robert Thomas. Down low, twisted in front. Kyrou kicked it back. Krug, a one-timer. Save made by Skinner. Rebound rifled down the middle of the ice on net.
Edmonton got away with the slash in front of the net. Neighbors got totally cleaved to the ice.
Fogle was the man who cleared it. Torrey Krug dishing back. And now Jordan Kyrou dancing around Ekholm. He'll put it around the boards. Buchnevich had it knocked away by Janmark. Able to be regained by Krug. Down low to Kyrou. Crosses to Robert Thomas. Right circle. Back door. And Kyrou could have backhanded in. Then when he tried to center, was deflected out. Krug steps up. One late pass for Buchnevich. And that threw off the timing of the play. Neighbors feeds the point for Robert Thomas. Krug on to Kyrou. Tough pass. Thomas had no chance. That pass well behind him, and the Blues top unit reluctantly exits. Torrey Krug takes the skate to center, allows the change to be complete. Now he'll peel back and look to give it up. 4:20 left in the second period. Instead, it's a poor outlet looking for Sundqvist, and that turns into an icing call. So Krug not only doesn't complete the pass, but now he's caught out there. And in a shorthanded situation, the Oilers will get a face-off to the right side of Jordan Binnington with 48 seconds left in the delay of game, handed out to Darnell Nurse. Nugent Hopkins against Sundqvist, who won the face-off, and it's another reset for St. Louis. Presumably, Krug will come off here. He'll kick it back and be replaced by Justin Falk. Sundqvist in from the right-hand side. But when the puck is returned, because Krug was late getting off, Falk wasn't yet in position, so he has to fall back to neutral. Transition from first to second unit, a choppy one for St. Louis, and now Braden Shen unable to beat Nugent Hopkins and Kulak. They strip him, they send it down the length of the ice, and now the Blues have time for one last rush, and that's all, with 3:40 to go in the period. Sent in by Shen. Brandon Saad down the left-hand side is going to be angled off. McDavid and Draisaitl are on for the end of the kill. Draisaitl breaks down the right-hand side, finds Nurse fresh out of the box. Shot save, Binnington rebound. Kevin Hayes under control for St. Louis. That developed exactly as Edmonton had hoped, but Hayes is able to stick handle his way in. Only to have it poke checked away at the last moment. Now Parayko steps up, shoots, and a glove save made by Skinner. And that keeps it a 2-2 hockey game with 3:10 to go. And again, Walker getting underneath the skin, this time of Matthias Ekholm. A face-off coming to the left side of goaltender Stuart Skinner.
Well, the other guy that they have that's been a healthy scratch of late, Sammy Blaze, he can get underneath your skin as well.
Well, what he hasn't been able to do is duplicate the scoring touch that he showed last year. Joined the team late and had 9 goals down the stretch. But this year he's got 1 in 44 games. Kasperi Kapanen mired in a goal slump of his own. He was benched tonight after a costly giveaway that led to a goal last night in the loss to Winnipeg. Ekholm gives it up to Connor McDavid off the draw. Bouchard misses Ekholm. That should be, no, they'll wave it off. St. Louis back in its own zone. Colton Parayko had trouble controlling that puck, and then a toss that sailed out of play, and that clipped the glass. That was dangerously close to too many men, and Calvin Pickard on the Edmonton bench was pleading his case for the call, but to no avail. 2:46 to play in the second. We're still tied.
I think we'll see Calvin Pickard.
Against Seattle or Pittsburgh?
Against Seattle. And then Skinner will start against Pittsburgh.
Pickard 7-3 on the season. Just had his 6-game winning streak snapped the other night by Minnesota in a game where the Oilers outshot the Wild significantly, but were undone by a solid goaltending performance turned in by Philip Gustafsson.
And a poor start.
Evander Kane off the draw, back to Cody Ceci. Now Ryan Nugent-Hopkins tried to go inside on Kevin Hayes. Hayes still working away, trying to dig the puck out of Kane's feet. You've got 5 players crowded within a pretty tight radius in the far corner. Kane finally jousted free. A quick shot and a save made on Dylan Holloway. Blues unable to clear. Bushnevich failed to get it out. Holloway's had a strong game tonight. He's been elevated twice, once in each period. And now he creates for Nugent-Hopkins behind the net. Nick Leddy crowding Nugent-Hopkins. This is the kind of shift that often leads to a power play. Kane to Darnell Nurse. Cody Ceci looking for a lane, just feathers it down low. Nugent-Hopkins can't get there. Leddy fails to clear. Kane off the skates of Nugent-Hopkins. Leddy reverses to Colton Parayko, and St. Louis is going to duck out of this. Parayko to center. There was a very close to a hold whistled against Nick Leddy during the course of that sequence.
Cece's got to put the puck to the net, Jack.
Fogel to Nurse. Here's Torrey Krug. Lines it up the left-hand side. That glanced off a body. And with 90 seconds to go, it's Ceci on the puck retrieval. Game tied at 2. St. Louis got the first 2 goals less than 5 minutes into the hockey game. Zach Hyman has scored twice for Edmonton to tie it. Fogel to Evan Bouchard, right point. Fogel, top of the right circle. 2 Blues collapse on him, force the puck loose, and now it's Jake Neighbors sprinting down the left-hand side, defended by Bouchard, and defended well. Ekholm with backside coverage, able to deny Neighbors a scoring opportunity. And now he'll slap it around the boards. Justin Falk able to come up with it for St. Louis in the right corner with a minute to go. Corey Perry won a battle, and the puck is elevated up to center, where Warren Fogle will shoot it in. Blues back to gather. It'll be Torrey Krug for St. Louis. Justin Falk at center. Tried to shovel it in deep. That was swatted down by Ekholm. Played over to Bouchard. Rifled up the left-hand side. Beautiful pass. Zach Hyman to the net. He's already got 2. Couldn't get a shot away. Falk from behind on Connor McDavid prevented a scoring chance. But McDavid's got the puck again. Slings it down low for Leon Draisaitl from the right half boards. It's McDavid. 20 seconds. McDavid out to Bouchard. Lines it up. Waits. Shoots into a crowd. And that was deflected. And now the Blues have a chance. It's Sundqvist barreling down the middle of the ice. Tried to dish off inexplicably. And Bouchard batted it down. Kyrou from behind the net. Tried to center. Blues can't get a shot away. Now Sottle fire and a save made by Stuart Skinner. 2 seconds. Bouchard will be guilty of a penalty here.
Oh,
interference.
Wow. This guy's brutal tonight. The guy flops. It's a flop.
Bouchard was signaling as such, but I believe the Blues will have a power play and a fresh sheet of ice to start the third. Let's get the call now from Carter Sandlack.
Missed the most obvious call in the entire game tonight, and St. Louis will have a power play to start the third period after Bouchard made a terrific defensive play. That is a weak call.
Shots 11 apiece in that second period, 23-19 for the hockey game. Zach Hyman a pair, both assisted by Connor McDavid. Hyman up to 40 goals on the season. Only Austin Matthews has more in the entire National Hockey League. Now he has 52, but still 40 awfully impressive. And Edmonton with a record of 34-20-2 coming in, needing a victory to climb within a point of second place Vegas in the Pacific Division. And keep in mind, the Oilers would have 2 games in hand while they find themselves in a familiar situation. Bob, it's been 12 games since the All-Star break, and the Oilers have not had a lead after 40 minutes in any of those games.
Crazy.
Now, the good news is they're 5-5-1 in the previous 11. They've been a tremendous third period club. They're 10-3-1 in the third. They just came off a game where it was 2-2 after 2 against LA, and they won the third. So, are you confident heading into the final 20 minutes, even shorthanded to begin?
Well, they need a big kill to start the period, and they need the officiating crew tonight to even the marbles out, balance them out a bit in this game. I mean, the most obvious call in the entire game they missed. And I thought that's a pretty ticky-tacky call at the end of the period there on Bouchard. The broken stick is obvious to everybody in the entire arena. That's a penalty 99% of the time. Robert Thomas gets away with one. And I think St. Louis gained. I mean, they didn't have a great power play to late in the period. Edmonton did have some chances. There's nothing to say the Oilers, can't. They should be the more rested team. But the Blues have got an advantage. And at some point here, the advantages need to even up, Jack.
So there it is. It's a 2-2 tie.
Tell me this, Jack. Sorry to interrupt. How does the team that has the number 1 5-on-5 expected goals for in the entire league, how is that team 30th in time on ice in the power play?
Well, I would say this. Part of it, though certainly not all of it, and when it comes to 30th, part of it is the Oilers, like tonight, just needed 8 seconds to score on the power play. So that's part of it.
They have a top 3 power play, but
so theoretically, you might think they'd be at least closer to 20.
Why does Colorado always lead the league every year? Okay, Edmonton's the best 5-on-5 expected goals for team in the National Hockey League.
I
this
don't
season.
dispute that.
And they're not even in the top 15 in terms of power plays drawn. Why?
Power plays drawn is another argument. Time on ice is one thing. Power plays drawn, you can certainly make an argument that.
Both guys missed the most obvious call in this entire.
The slash was a slash. I mean, there's no question about it. But as you pointed out, you miss calls every game. You know, to some degree, Edmonton's probably fortunate they weren't 2 men down at one point on the St. Louis power play.
Okay, so you missed the call there. You got Leddy water skiing off of Nugent Hopkins in the corner. When you missed the call and you've given them another power play, you call a ticky-tack high sticking call on Draisaitl to start the game. Less than a minute into the game, they've been chopping wood too. They've had sticks up too in this game. They've missed 2 calls there that were 50-50 calls. But the Thomas one, he thought he was going to a penalty. Anyways, we'll see what happens in the third period.
All right. You okay?
Are you? Let's go.
I'm fine.
Let's go.
I just wanted to make sure. We'll get Bob squared away, and we'll come back with third period play-by-play in about 14 and a half minutes. But first things first, Reed and Rob want their turn. That's next. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
McDavid trying to come in with speed. Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores!
Hey, Edmonton. Rogers wants you to stay connected to your Edmonton Oilers.
Connor McDavid! Fantastic!
Catch every goal on Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network with Rogers 5G mobile plans. To learn more, visit rogers.com/5G. That's rogers.com/5G.
It's our
St. Louis.
Homestead.
Start, he'll go.
Saying that this weekend comes through.
Happens. What a. And that's something.
Aligned with a little too easy.
Well, fortunately for Oilers Plus, we have Well, as the Edmonton Oilers take on the Anaheim Ducks, we're pleased to be joined by the team's leading goal scorer, number 18, Zach Hyman. And let's talk about the goals. You're now officially a back-to-back 30-goal scorer at age 30 and 31. I'm not sure if I can call you a late bloomer, but how would you describe it?
Just try to get better every year. So it's been fun. Obviously found some success this year and last year, and having fun with this group. I think we're playing pretty well, so we got to keep it going.
In that effort to get better every year, for you personally, what have you learned a lot about yourself in terms of the course of your NHL career? Because you were drafted in 2010, didn't play your first full season until 6 years later, and now here you are being a point-per-game player in the National Hockey League.
Yeah, it's a long journey. I think you just got to enjoy it. 2010's a long time ago, but you do remember all the steps along the way, and then you break into the league, and then you just try to get a little bit better every year, and very fortunate to be on a team like this with playing with some great players.
Zach, what works so well between you, Nugent Hopkins, and McDavid?
I think we've played together a bunch over the years, so we're pretty familiar with each other's games, and obviously Connor's got elite speed, elite skill, and obviously the best player in the world, so it's easy to play with a guy like that. And then Nuge is unbelievably talented and so skilled and poised and makes plays, and then I try to go in the corners and get the puck for those guys and go to the net. So I think it's a pretty good combo.
Well, with the excitement from last week's announcement in your hometown of Toronto of the Four Nations Cup, there's a projected lineups of Team Canada, and you and Connor McDavid are almost on every single one. But do you feel like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is getting snubbed a little bit?
Oh, I mean, I think people should watch more Oilers games. I decided when I was like 6. Yeah, so it's kind of just been the way I've played since I was a kid.
When you look at the success you're also having with Connor McDavid, he has set you up, and you've always said that he's been a part of your success. What would you say is maybe a reason or reasons that two of you really connect so well together?
Well, he's the best player in the world, best passer. So if you go to the net and you're able to find space, he's probably going to get you. And then all you got to do is put it in.
With the success that your team is having, what did you think of how you maybe started slow, but thanks to you, Connor, and company, you've fought your way back into this game?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. We just got to start better, obviously. But, it's good we're battled back, and it's 2-2, and it'll be a good third for us.
Zach, thank you.
Thanks, Gene.
Zach, Gene, thanks very much. You heard it from the man. Foundation laid at just 6 years old. Highlights coming up after the break in a Sportsnet Central update with Ken and Ivanka.
You can see how good Nuge is. He's one of the best players in the world, too. Makes plays all situations. Power play, penalty kill, takes draws, plays center, plays wing. So, I mean, I don't think you can find a more versatile guy in the NHL.
All right, a few days ago, unfortunately, your guys' streak came to an end at 16 games. But fortunately, I mean, what a run that must have been being a part of this group. What did you learn most about your group from December 21st until February 6th?
It was an awesome run, obviously. I thought we played really well defensively. I think we showed that we could play in those tight games and showed that we can win games where we only score 2 or 3. And I think our goaltending was phenomenal, and our penalty kill was phenomenal. So those things are huge pluses for us, and we'll continue to build on it here.
And talking to Calvin Pickard, speaking of goaltending, the starting netminder tonight, he said the reason why it's become so much easier for Skinsy and I is because everyone's locking it down in front of them. What's it taken as a group to make sure that you guys are funneling these high danger chances out of your guys' game routinely?
A number of things. I think our defense core has been great. I think the 6 guys back there have really stepped up and are playing really well, obviously. And then forwards are coming back hard through the middle and kind of deferring things to the outside and letting the goalie see the puck. And the less you can get from the middle of the ice, the better off it is for a goalie. So just trying to get shots from outside.
Going to start another streak tonight?
That's the plan.
That's the plan. Thanks so much for your time. Good luck tonight. Sitting down with number 55 of the Edmonton Oilers, Dylan Holloway. Nice and comfortable, of course, and of course you're easing your way back into the lineup. 4 games in. How would you kind of assess your first 4 games back in the Oilers lineup, Dylan?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been good. Obviously, this team's been on a huge run, so I just wanted to come back and kind of try and help out as best I could and not try and get in the way of the way things are going. So, but it's been good. Yeah, the 4 games have been in, we've won. I felt pretty good, had some good chances, and I thought our line clicked. So, excited for the game tonight.
You talk about helping this team the best you can. What does that look like?
Yeah, I think just, obviously playing the best of my ability. I think that includes just some speed, good plays, some physicality, hopefully a couple goals here. But, yeah, I just think a lot of energy, trying to create momentum for the team.
I mean, speaking of offense, you have a goal and assist since your return. Where do you feel like your offensive game is at right now with more puck touches, especially at center?
Yeah, more puck touches is huge. I think confidence is there. I've been feeling good in practice, and I used all that time off that when I was hurt just to work on little things, little skills with the puck. So I think it's paying off a bit too. I think one thing I learned too is just from watching is you kind of have more time than you think. it's the NHL level. So when I first came in, I was like, this is crazy. But now it's kind of, things are slowing down a little bit, which is nice. And I'm just trying to make plays out there.
What's it like playing on a line with Corey Perry? You called him a legend when he arrived, and now you get to play with him. What's it like playing with number 90?
Yeah, he's awesome. He is a legend. He's great. Yeah, he's such a good player, so skilled with the puck. We've all talked about the way he can make plays with his reach. He spans so far, you can't get the puck from him. So I think with our line, with me and Clouder and our speed, and then pairs his puck protection down low, I think we could be a pretty good threat. And just gonna try and read off pairs because he's obviously the veteran on the line. So yeah.
In Corey Perry fashion, his very first shift as an Oiler, he crashed the net. Maybe talk about that element and how much that helps you guys in terms of creating space for you.
Yeah, it's awesome. I've said it before. I love the way he plays. I've been a fan of his growing up, and first shift he kind of charged the net. I was like, "Oh, are we doing this? Are we going?" But no, it was pretty funny, and I think he's going to be a great player for our team and creating lots of space out there for sure.
All right, let's talk about the streak. I know you guys aren't necessarily talking about it in this dressing room because you guys are focused on the small segments, but an opportunity to tie an historic mark of 17 straight victories. How special is that coming into this game tonight?
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I mean, NHL history is crazy to even think of being a part of. But yeah, I think for us, we just got to go one game at a time. I kind of think that's how it's been this whole streak. You can't look too far ahead. Every team in this league's so good, can beat you on any given night. So we got to be at our best, and we know that, and we're focused on the task at hand, and just kind of focusing one game at a time.
You talk about good teams. How about the Vegas Golden Knights? Of course, defending Stanley Cup champions, 5-1-1 in their last 7. When their team is going like they are right now, what kind of challenges do they pose for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. They're a great team. They're good in goaltending-wise, defensively and offensively. But I think this is a game that we definitely want, especially after what happened last year in the playoffs. So to tie the streak against them would be incredible, and I think that's definitely something that the guys are itching to do.
All right, I'm going to make sure that Brad Harrison can hear this. What are your thoughts on Brad Harrison, the assistant equipment manager here in Edmonton?
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty good. No, he's great. He brings the vibes. He's always got some tunes going. Some of his tunes are a bit questionable, but he's always got the vibes going in the room, and he's pretty funny guy.
What kind of tunes are questionable?
I mean, sometimes it's like 8 a.m. and he's playing hard rock and roll music, and guys are still kind of waking up, getting out of bed, so it's a little much at the time, but sometimes you come in and he's got the country going, he's got some good tunes. So today we had some Toby Keith going. Rest in peace, Toby Keith. He died today. He's a legend, too, so we had some Toby Keith playing today, which is nice.
All right, a lot of compliments towards Brad Harrison. Be honest, Dylan, how much did he pay you to send all these compliments his way?
Yeah, we definitely talked before it. No, I'm just kidding. But slid a couple.
Triple digits? Triple digits?
No, not quite.
No, thanks, Dylan. Appreciate your time. And good luck tonight.
Thanks, Tony.
Thanks. I'm with the 3 best dressed men at Rogers Place. I mean, look at these jerseys, fellas. They look so good. You guys are all rocking them, looking sharp. Tony Barr here alongside George LaRocque, Sean Brown, and Joaquin Gage, of course, all friends of the show here at Oilers Plus. And George, let's maybe start with you, and then Sean, maybe you can piggyback off of this. Of course, tonight being Black History Celebration Night. Can you talk about the specialty and the excitement leading up to puck drop?
Well, Edmonton always do things amazingly. It's always awesome the way that the city and the team is embracing culture and everything. And that's why I'm so happy that I was drafted by them, because you look at the history of this team and Grant Fuhr that was there before, you're looking at many African-American that played there before, that year that there was 5 of us. So the fact that they're celebrating, commemorating what happened in 2000, it's just amazing again, and I'm not surprised. Such class from this organization. So to be here again from that day, we talk so much about diversity in hockey and giving the right example, and the Oilers always been up there.
Sean, if you want to follow up on the excitement.
Yeah, no, much of the same. I mean, this organization has been really good to all of us, and
it wasn't that long ago that we were, all together in a room, and this was a big month for all of us, and there was a lot of attention, and I was really proud to be a part of the Oilers and the organization, and like I said, this jersey and how nice it looks, it makes me really proud to wear it.
Almost 2 decades ago, you guys were all in the same room with 5 black players in that Oilers dressing room. Can you talk about the specialty of that, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, I looked at a tweet today, and we all look a little bit different now, but
hey, you guys are like fine wine.
Yeah,
looking better with
yeah.
age.
So you know what, we had a special group of guys, and obviously it was a special group of us all being on one team, and it was nice. I mean, it was a lot of attention brought to us, and I think we all handled ourselves very well. And it was nice to have a platform, and the Oilers gave us one, and it was really enjoyable.
Joaquin, let's follow up on that. The platform that is hockey is for everyone. Having nights like this all across the National Hockey League, why is it so important for so many different groups to be represented on the world stage?
I think the biggest thing, Tony, is the little kids that see how they look similar to George and Sean and I. Not so much George, but it's not till years later till I had older people come up to me and say, you know what, when I was younger, I saw you playing, and I knew that there was maybe a possibility of me making to those heights too. They were a lot older and their dreams didn't come true, but to have that kind of effect on people that you didn't really know about, it's something special that I really enjoyed nowadays.
All right, fellas, let's conclude this interview with a little bit of fun. I'm going to put you guys on the spot here, okay? If you had to describe your time with the Edmonton Oilers on the ice with just one word, what would it be? George, we'll start with you.
Aesthetic.
Just one word.
Aesthetic.
Yeah, I love that. Sean?
One word to describe... Gager, you go first. I'll come back to me here.
Short. I'll just say short.
Not long enough.
Hey, Joaquin, you're not talking about my height.
It was fun playing.
I'm excited about a night. It will be celebration night. Joaquin, Sean, George.
And since mid-December, no one's even close. They've outscored the opposition, Bob, 50-19 in their last 27 games. Sent in deep. Buchnevich had it knocked away by Desharnais. Shorthanded chance. Matthias Janmark to the net. And he's unable to draw a call, but he keeps the puck on his stick. It's finally dislodged by Kyrou, who's trying to one-hand it out, but now Connor Brown comes over shorthanded. He'll take possession. Robert Thomas able to steer it over to Neighbors, and it's a reset for Torrey Krug, but now the Blues will have to change out the top unit. Another disorganized-looking power play for St. Louis, who cashed in and quickly on their first opportunity back in the first period. The last two, not so much. Braden Shen trying to change that, but he turns it over. Matthias Ekholm able to swat it out of the zone. Now 2-on-2, shorthanded. Nugent Hopkins to Fogle. Backhander, and that was tipped up over top of the glass and out of play by Justin Falk. 19 seconds left in the man advantage for St. Louis. And this Napa Auto Parts penalty kill, Bob, you talked about it, needed to come through in the clutch, and thus far they have.
Jack, I did some digging. So we talked about the fact that, as per natural stat trick, Edmonton has the best 5-on-5 expected goals for in the league, 57.6. That means they're in the offensive zone getting a lot of opportunities. Oilers are 20th in penalties drawn per 60. 8th in penalties taken per 60. They have the 3rd worst differential in the league. Only San Jose and Anaheim are worse.
And they're two of the worst teams in the league.
And they're nowhere near the top of the expected goals for in the league. Makes no sense.
Shoveled down the right-hand side by Kevin Hayes. Warren Fogle, a dart down the middle, coming out to play at Jordan Binnington. Well, that's the key, really, is penalty differential and penalties drawn. When you're only 20th in the league, that's a little suspect. And when you're 30th in terms of differential, and the other two teams are the worst two teams in the league, well, there's the issue. Here's Jordan Kyrou. Knocked away by Vinny Desharnais. Time on ice for me is a little more ambiguous. Here's an opening for Thomas, finding Parayko for a slap shot from the right point. A save made by Stuart Skinner. He's really settled down. He gave up 2 goals in the first 4 shots, stopped all 17 since. Connor McDavid comes up with a loose puck. Kulak to Leon Draisaitl, in over the line. Takes a peek, recognizes where McDavid was, tried to plow through Nathan Walker. The two go down in the corner. Crowd wanted a call, none forthcoming. Walker is able to ride that puck up through center. And it's Oscar Sundqvist who jams it down deep. Skinner a near turnover as Alexandrov nearly with a steal on Skinner's effort to move the puck up the left-hand side. Dylan Holloway will chip it toward the corner, try to get there before Scandella can, and now Evander Kane hard on the forecheck against Tyler Tucker. Holloway peeled it out of traffic, back to the point, ripped by Bouchard, wide short side. Rebound, pounded on net, Ekholm, a brilliant save by Binnington. I'm not sure how he found that puck, but he did, kicked out the left pad, and got a clear from Nathan Walker. Good pressure from Edmonton to start this third period, 5-on-5. Kane, who's been active tonight, makes a move, takes a shot, and that's rocketed up and out of play. And I haven't minded Evander Kane's game tonight, Bob. He's got the feet moving. He's been a presence on the forecheck. Would not be surprised if over the final 16 minutes, Evander Kane finds a way to have a tangible impact on this game.
By the way, I'll tell you, you know who tipped me off on these numbers? Was Boomer from the NHL Network. Out of the blue, I think I've only been on with him once over the years. He just texts me, he goes, "Stop, what's with your team never getting power plays?" And I'm like, what are you talking about? And so this is about 2 weeks ago. So
This isn't the Boomer we know south of us.
No, this is
different Boomer
from NHL. He does like a mid-afternoon show. And I was like in shock when I did some digging on the numbers. I mean, especially given the expected goals for, which is a sign of offensive zone, dominate. You're up around 57%. You got the puck a lot in the other team's end. You tend to get calls in those situations. You should, because the other team's forced to defend.
Draisaitl beaten off the draw by Kevin Hayes up the right-hand side. Swung down was Toropchenko, but this will be an icing call regardless against St. Louis. 4 minutes having elapsed here in the third period. Edmonton 2, St. Louis 2. Sometimes it's a bit of perception, Bob, as you know. I mean, most people still talk about Edmonton being explosive offensively. Most don't necessarily think of the Oilers as a grinding type of team, but the additions of Kane and Hyman should have changed that narrative to some degree.
And the other factor, as you know, the power play's been the best power play in the last 30 years, right?
Off the draw, here's Evan Bouchard. Down low, McDavid. So there's a sense that here's McDavid dragging, trying to bank it in off Binnington, and he was able to make the save. Justin Falk up the right-hand side. McDavid able to knock it down. Regardless, the game is tied at 2. And Brett Kulak with a chance to kick it back to Evan Bouchard. He'll race it into the offensive zone. Leon Draisaitl saucers it back. Kulak a shot off the crossbar and a rebound to Jake Neighbors. And he's got Braden Shen. Finds him. Shen streaking for the net. Dishes. One-timer. What a save! Stuart Skinner. He robbed Zach Bolduc. A tremendous stop. That appeared to be certainly in the net. Colton Parayko shoots it in. Skinner's most spectacular save of the homestand. Robert Thomas won a battle. Neighbors wide open, a shot. Bit of a changeup and a save made by Skinner. Kulak bothered that shot.
Corey Perry's got to get the puck out there, Jack.
Draisaitl off to Ryan McLeod. The crowd woken up by that Stuart Skinner save. Sees McLeod around to Corey Perry. Tried to dish off, and that's a turnover. Neighbors up the gut. And they're going to give Kyrou a puck touch there, so no icing. Guided by Nurse to Corey Perry. Back in his own zone, he'll reverse. McLeod up the boards to Warren Fogle. He'll slide back down. Buchnevich trying to make him pay for that decision, but McLeod is able to lob it back to center.
What a save by Skinner.
That was tremendous on Zach Bolduc. Tyler Tucker fires it in for the Blues. And it's Cody Ceci up the left-hand side. Tucker backhanded it inadvertently into the Oiler bench. We'll have a neutral zone face-off. Nearly 6 minutes gone here in the third period. The Blues have accounted for all 4 shots on net, but keep in mind, just moments ago, Kulak hit the crossbar on a floater that had eyes and went right over Binnington, only to catch iron. And Stuart Skinner, a tremendous stop with the blocker on Zach Bolduc, who got it elevated, Bob. I mean, you can't fault Bolduc. Here's Janmark. up the right-hand side, and now we'll have a hand pass whistle. Plays neutralized with 14:01 on the game clock. We are tied at 2. What's at stake for Edmonton? Well, a win puts them at 35-20-2 and leaves them just a point out of second place with 2 games in hand on Vegas. For St. Louis, which has seen Nashville reel off 6 consecutive wins while they've dropped 4 of 5, they're all of a sudden gone from 4 points up to 6 points behind in the Western Conference wildcard race. Now, they have 2 games in hand, but those only matter if you win them. Alexandrov down the right-hand side for the Blues. Gets it into the offensive zone. Quickly brought out by Janmark. He collided with Falk. Got it back. Found Kane. His shot. And then ricocheted wide. Kane again in position to make an impact here with Janmark behind the net. Torrey Krug is able to carve it out of there for St. Louis. Slides to his left. Funneled in by Alexandrov. He'll forecheck against Darnell Nurse. More of the token variety. Limited pressure. Ceci up the right-hand side for Connor Brown. Down the wing, a shot carefully gloved by Binnington, and with that, we'll take time out. 13 minutes, 12 seconds to go in the third period. Game on the line. Hyman has 2. Edmonton's rallied from 2-0 down, but we've settled nothing. We are tied from Rogers Place. Third period play-by-play continues in just a moment. It's Ford Dealers NHL Hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
Staying at the JW Marriott Edmonton Ice District offers prime access to Rogers Place and the Ice District without needing to go outside. Offering welcoming modern luxury, the JW offers an elevated experience unrivaled in Alberta. Visit jwmarriottedmonton.com to book today.
Over the last decade, the world of work has changed dramatically. It's a change that can cause a disconnect between a company and its employees. But a partnership with Aon can help by making decisions that create a more flexible, engaged, and resilient workforce. Aon's experience and expertise, global understanding, and advanced analytics ensure that every client is better informed and better advised so that they can make better decisions. Whatever the next decade brings, Aon is in the business of better decisions.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
Staying at the JW Marriott Edmonton Ice District offers prime access to Rogers Place and the Ice District without needing to go outside. Offering welcoming modern luxury, the JW offers an elevated experience unrivaled in Alberta. Visit jwmarriottedmonton.com to book today.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
Edmonton, St. Louis, one of only 2 games in the NHL tonight. Rangers beat Columbus 4-1 in a matchup out east. Here at Rogers Place, the Blues took a quick 2-0 lead 5 minutes in. Edmonton has stormed back, power play, and an even strength goal for Zach Hyman. He's now at 40 on the season. The Oilers 2 and the Blues 2. It's been tied since early in the second period. Now with 13 minutes to go in regulation, here's Dylan Holloway left to right, bouncing it in for the Oilers. Fourth line out, Derek Ryan and Connor Brown. And this line has had their moments tonight. Holloway protecting the puck in the corner. Holloway's been elevated up in the top 6 on 2 separate occasions. Here he finds Kulak left point. Desharnais whistles it back to Kulak, a blast and a save. Binnington. Rebound spilled to the far corner. Scandella did not get it out. Holloway with some good work behind the net. Blues will have a chance to clear, but a steal by Connor Brown against Kevin Hayes, who got back into the play. Brown fights for puck possession, swept back to the point. Kulak, Desharnais, and the puck up top again for Edmonton. Connor Brown, who started it all. Over to Connor McDavid, who's out there with Holloway. Scandella comes over. He'll send one skipping over. A chance for a clear. And Tyler Tucker does exactly that. Batted down at center by Kulak. And it's a reset for Edmonton with its top line out. Draisaitl, McDavid, Hyman. Kulak, the puck carrier, will shoot it in from center. Climbs up on the boards. Tucker gives way to Bolduc. He did not get it out of the zone. Snatched away by Leon Draisaitl. Most takeaways in the National Hockey League. Bouchard. McDavid tried to give it back to Bouchard. Deflected. Good zone keep by Bouchard. Feathered it through. McDavid backdoor one-timer. What a save! Binnington robbing Leon Draisaitl. That's one each way. Skinner on Bolduc and Binnington with a tremendous read. Able to square up and stop Leon Draisaitl as he bid for his 30th of the year.
Yeah, Connor McDavid ended up getting the puck mid-slot, passed off in the shot option, and I think he made the right call. It was an open look for Draisaitl, and I don't know if Leon
That's
got
a great save.
Yeah, Leon
great raid and a great save.
Leon didn't get all of it. He got enough of it, but he didn't get all of it.
No, I'd agree with you. That was more of like a cutter rather than a straight heater.
If that was the heater, it would have been
Off the face-off. Ekholm to Bouchard, a blast. The save. Binnington rebound swatted. And what a keep. This time by Ekholm in the high slot. Binnington's hurt.
Oh, he's...
Play was whistled down.
Hyman's
Is
not...
Binnington's helmet jostled? Is that what happened? Did one of the straps
No,
come
Hyman
loose?
got a piece of...
Well, I didn't see any penalty called on the play.
No, there's no penalty. Unless they decide to change the call here.
To be honest with you, I'm unclear as to why the play was whistled down.
His helmet was off.
Was his helmet actually off? The straps, that's what I said. Are the straps loose there? Helmet's not all the way off, but did the straps come free? I mean, that helmet isn't off, Bob.
Yeah. Well, he blew it dead.
So, I mean, you kind of are with me.
I'm kind of with you.
Why'd you whistle it? 11:18 to go in the third. I mean, there's contact occasionally between players and netminder. Here's a shot that ricocheted from Bouchard wide of the net. Now McDavid knifed it down low for Zach Hyman. Button hooks against Colton Parayko. Saucer to McDavid, coming off the right half boards. Beautiful feed, block shot, Parayko, and scooped by Binnington before Hyman can deposit it in the back of the net. 11:01 to play in the third, and St. Louis in a Molly Hatchet sort of framework here, flirting with disaster against Edmonton's top unit. Good chances.
I miss those Molly Hatchet references on those nights that you're doing TV.
I know you do. Binnington will square up a face-off to his right. Tell you what, Skinner made the great save on Bolduc. Binnington's been good in this recent sequence.
Both goalies have played well tonight, Jack.
Nugent Hopkins, Kane back out there for Edmonton, and a clean face-off win for Nugent Hopkins. Rolled back behind the net. Janmark and Kane in hot pursuit. It's Evander Kane working out of the right corner against a pair of Blues. Toropchenko will have a chance to move it out, and he does, muscling it up to Nathan Walker, who will shoot it in for St. Louis. Now Sundqvist in on the forecheck. Able to create some pressure down low. Sundqvist reaching for the puck, tapped to the corner by Nurse. Toropchenko went down in a heap against Cody Ceci. Blues trying to rake it free from the end boards. Nugent Hopkins won't let them get possession. He forces it to Evander Kane. Kane tied up. And now the puck back to Nugent Hopkins, and Kane's drawn a penalty. Sundqvist clipped him with a high stick, I do believe.
Nugent Hopkins got hauled down, too, right after.
I thought it was Kane.
It was Kane initially.
That was high-sticked.
Yeah, they're checking for a little bit of blood. I think it's only going to be 2.
Kane biting hard, showing the official. I agree with you. I think it's going to only be 2 minutes here.
You can tell by how protestive too much Evander's doing here. He's trying to get the 4. It's going to be a 2-minute minor.
Trevor Hansen.
Should have been another call right after Jack.
9:45, time of the penalty. Edmonton.
Number 7, he's got a minor for a high stick.
There's the high stick on Sundqvist. He knew it. He tapped Evander Kane on his way down the ice. Just caught him cleanly. And with that, the Oilers go to an Atco power play. Atco Energy, your trusted Alberta retailer. AtcoEnergy.com. The Oilers 1 for 1 tonight. Looking to take their first lead of the night. Didn't get the lead until the third period Monday against Los Angeles. Trying for a similar script tonight. Fierce battle for the puck off the draw, and the Blues are able to win it. Thomas tied up Draisaitl, and Parayko was able to launch down the left-hand side. Draisaitl, McDavid, Nugent-Hopkins, Bouchard, and Hyman.
Thomas is a heck of a player, Jack.
Here's Evan Bouchard, wheeling and dealing. He'll take it down low in the corner. Had it stripped, cleared up the left-hand side. Draisaitl spins against Buchnevich. Pokes it free for Zach Hyman, who scored both Edmonton goals tonight. Draisaitl to keep it alive. Bouchard belly down, taken away. Thomas a shorthanded breakaway for the lead. Thomas, oh, what a strip! Nugent-Hopkins on the backtrack. What a play! Nugent-Hopkins hearing it from the crowd, streaking down the left-hand side. Draisaitl on his backhand. Blues poised for a shorthanded goal, but Nugent-Hopkins shut the door. Now Bouchard. McDavid, Bouchard, a drive into an open area. Buchnevich will have a chance to clear, and he does. Beautiful play up the boards. Thomas again, spin move on Draisaitl. Now triple teamed and stripped to the puck again by Nugent-Hopkins. Up the right-hand side for Draisaitl. Wild power play so far. Draisaitl works his way free of Torrey Krug. McDavid crowded in the corner, feeds Bouchard at the point. Now it's McDavid. Draisaitl threw it across, looking for Kane. That was bottled up. Now he finds Bouchard. Open is McDavid. Beautiful move around Toropchenko. Drag move and knocked away. Justin Falk. A tremendous poke check. And he'll flip one down the middle. And that took a sharp hop that Stuart Skinner had to bat down 15 seconds on the penalty to Sundqvist. How about that play by Nugent-Hopkins?
That was spectacular.
Here's Warren Fogle sending it in deep for Evander Kane. Around the boards, intercepted, cleared by Nick Leddy, and that will do it for the Edmonton power play. That's about as exciting a power play without a shot on net for either team that we've ever seen.
A little too excited of a power play, if you know what I'm saying, Jack.
Nurse shoots it in. Around the boards. Colton Parayko did not get it out. Nurse takes a shot that's tipped dangerously wide as the Oilers got a net front presence on Binnington. Now it's Kane with 8 minutes to play, trying to nudge it out in front. Parayko able to take it away. Kane side of the net, and that bounced to the corner. Desharnais tried to feather it back to Fogle, intercepted. Kevin Hayes the other way for St. Louis. Across, bridge shot, save! Skinner against Nathan Walker, who got belted by Desharnais. Pancaked into the corner, and now Fogle hoists it ahead for Corey Perry, who does a nice job of getting it behind Falk and forcing St. Louis to go the full 200 feet while Edmonton changes it up.
Vinny Desharnais got bailed out there, Jack.
Here's an opening for Bolduc. He can fly. Cuts to the net. Poke checked away by Stuart Skinner. Bolduc showed some speed there. Ryan McLeod, speaking of speed, will send it in deep. 7 minutes to play in this hockey game. We're tied at 2. Ricochet out to the point. Vinny Desharnais. High slot Kulak. Shoveled it back. Desharnais. Snapshot. Save. Binnington. Rebound. And that was blocked in front. McLeod thought he had an opening. Now Holloway took too long to get it off. Saad lifted his stick. And Dylan, I'm sure you'd agree with me, Bob's just got to let that fly.
Yeah, he's just got to have a quicker stick. Got to be prepared to shoot.
Blues send it down the middle. Kulak. Jordan Kyrou bearing down. In the Oilers zone, it'll be Bouchard to carry it out. Hits the St. Louis line, and that's an offside. McDavid knew it. 6:26 to play, third period. 2-2. A tempestuous tilt at Rogers Place tonight. Edmonton, St. Louis, nothing settled. Final 6.5 upcoming. We're live from Rogers Place, sold out as per usual with 4 dealers, NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Be a savvy Edmonton hotel shopper. Book through edmontonsbesthotels.com and receive up to $225 in cash rewards. There are over 50 member hotels to choose from, offering their best value rates. edmontonsbesthotels.com. Rewards with every booking.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm proud to call myself an Albertan. You know, after years of touring this great province in my Ford F-150, I've learned the value of driving a tough, capable, smart truck. Whether you're working for the weekend or long-hauling it like I am, there's an F-150 for every Albertan, with plenty of options to choose from, like available Pro Power on board. So if you're looking for a new truck, stop by your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
Be a savvy Edmonton hotel shopper. Book through edmontonsbesthotels.com and receive up to $225 in cash rewards. There are over 50 member hotels to choose from, offering their best value rates. edmontonsbesthotels.com. Rewards with every booking.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
St. Louis, Edmonton, another good matchup between these two. Oilers have had their problems with the Blues over the years. They were down 2-0 5 minutes into this game. Hyman a pair to bring Edmonton back, and now the game hanging in the balance with 6.5 to play. Neither goaltender seems inclined to surrender that third goal. Blasted in by Ekholm. Both have made terrific saves here in the third. Binnington and Skinner. Now it's Bouchard into the offensive zone. Ice has been tilted in favor of Edmonton for much of the third, but the Blues keep counterpunching. And getting it in deep here is Robert Thomas. From the left circle, he hits Parayko. Flubbed a shot, and that knuckle puck is snared by Stuart Skinner. As a smirking Bob Stauffer will tell you, Parayko did not get all he wanted on that one. 2-2, 6 minutes to play. Shots 28-26 in favor of Edmonton.
Yeah, Parayko looked to the heavens on that one. That's the old wiffle ball that he had fired on net. What was that called? An Oofus pitch?
Ephus.
Ephus.
Yep. The original Ephus pitch, I believe, was Ewell Blackwell back in the late 30s. I'd have to double check that. Then, of course, Bill Lee, Spaceman. You'd remember him, Bob.
Sure.
The Ephus. Gave up a home run to Tony Perez in the World Series off an Ephus. Here's Jordan Kyrou. A shot and a save made by Stuart Skinner. Thrown around the boards. It'll be Kyrou to the corner. Worked up the right-hand side. Janmark scampering to center. Evander Kane put it back behind the net. Justin Falk turned it over to Darnell Nurse. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins tried to center, and that was stuffed. Thomas looking to clear with help from Buchnevich, and he does. Nurse at center finds Ceci, and it's spilled back into the offensive zone. Evander Kane after it in the right corner. Couldn't make a play. Braden Shen did. The St. Louis captain dribbles one inside the Oiler blue line. Nurse across the CC. 5 minutes remain. Game tied at 2. A good one. Blues come in 30-26-2, wobbling with 4 losses in their last 5 after winning 8 of 10. To put themselves in a playoff spot, they're 6 points back entering tonight. Braden Shen chipping it up the left-hand side for Neighbors. To the middle of the ice, shot in by Toropchenko. Here's Skinner handling the puck to Brett Kulak. Fogle to the middle of the ice. Desharnais will activate. Hit Corey Perry right wing. Put it to the St. Louis goal line. Desharnais will finish his check, and the Blues bottled up for now, but Neighbors breaks loose. He of the 19 goals will shoot it off the glove, and Toropchenko could not thread his way through Warren Fogle. Desharnais will reset. Fogle driving left wing, shot that handcuffed Binnington, still was able to make the save. Up the left-hand side and cleared by Kevin Hayes. Now you've got Bouchard returning a pass to Matthias Ekholm at center ice. He'll hit the St. Louis line. He'll go to Zach Hyman, and now Leon Draisaitl left corner. Top line out for Edmonton. Parayko trying to work his way free, does so with a feed to Nick Leddy. He'll carry it to center and shoot it in. Skinner calling signals. Ekholm dangerously into the slot, guided by Bouchard up to Leon Draisaitl. Powers his way through Buchnevich, but not Nick Leddy. He will get it in deep. Another collision in the corner involving Zach Hyman. Poised nearby is Connor McDavid. Hyman, both Edmonton goals tonight. It slid free. And a good play by Alexandrov to get it to Bolduc. He did not get it in deep. CC forced the turnover. Draisaitl with Hyman, gives it to him. Hyman is shot. And that stayed out. May have been tipped over the crossbar. Bolduc up the right-hand side. And Alexandrov makes certain this time that it'll get in deep. 3 minutes to play. Darnell Nurse left to right for Edmonton. Dylan Holloway shoots it in. Taken by Kane. A shot deflected up on the glass. Here's Holloway back up on that second line. Open man. Ceci a drive. A save. Juggled and held by Bennington. Third time tonight. One in each period. We've seen Holloway pushed up to the second unit. And Bob, this one seems all the more meaningful considering there's 2:42 left in the third period. And speaking of that, we'll come right back with the final 2 minutes, 42 seconds of regulation. Edmonton 2, St. Louis 2. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
At the Chop Leaf, greens for lunch gets you moving. Now you can shake, shake, shake it. Made with fresh greens and vegetables, choose from 9 delicious, oh-so-shakeable salads. Or try it as a wrap or rice bowl. So however you shake it, you'll enjoy something you can feel good about. Visit the Chop Leaf near you or order online today to enjoy some freshness on the go.
International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 955, is one of Alberta's largest and most diverse union locals in the province. Members work in everything from construction and maintenance to pipelines, renewables, healthcare, education, municipalities, and more. They are a big part of Alberta's past and will be a big part of Alberta's future. Apprenticeship, jobs, pension. That's IUOE Local 955. Visit joinustoday.ca to learn more, and let's go Oilers.
It's game on at City Ford.
This month saw hockey's all-stars hit the ice, and an all-star is back at City Ford. For a limited time, get an amazing 0% financing on brand new Ford F-150s.
Or choose to save up to $6,500 on the 2024 Ford Edge and drive now, pay later.
Plus, spin and win a TV, Dyson vacuum, an iPad, or a trip to Vegas with your purchase.
Visit City Ford on the St. Albert Trail.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
2:42 to play, 2-2 tie, offensive zone draw. Derek Ryan centering Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Evander Kane. What do you make of that, Stoff?
Win the draw. That's why they got him out there.
So Ryan on the faceoff. Nurse and CC the defenseman. St. Louis a 2-0 lead, 5 minutes into the game. Edmonton coming back. Hyman late in the first and then early in the second, with 2 goals, giving him 40 on the year and giving the Oilers a tie. But off the draw, Buchnevich streaks in with a wrist shot that handcuffs Skinner. He's able to make the save. Rebound up the right-hand side and out. Krug will settle it down. Shots are 30-27 in this hockey game in favor of Edmonton. Thomas locates a man, a wrist shot, and another save. This one on Justin Falk by Stuart Skinner. And knifed off the glass and out by Derek Ryan. Krug curls it ahead for Robert Thomas, who kicks it back to Krug, and it's a reset for St. Louis as its top line exits the playing surface. Jake Neighbors, beautiful move around Bouchard to the net with a wrist shot, and that missed high blocker. Rebound, Toropchenko. Less than 2 minutes left in regulation. Edmonton's top line out. McDavid ahead to Draisaitl. He'll slam it in deep. That's going to be knocked down by Bennington. Directing traffic up the right-hand side. An errant pass picked off by Ekholm. Bouchard's open. Gives it back to Ekholm. A shot. Save Bennington. What a glove save he made on the rebound against Zach Hyman. Denying the hat trick, and Hyman can't believe it. Now, Hyman's got him twice tonight. And Bob, in the earlier meeting, Bennington made 2 of the best saves we've seen all year long at the expense of Zach Hyman.
And Hyman made 2 completely different moves on that power play to score.
So Bennington, there was an in-tight save, and again, you'd almost have to see a replay to see how good that stop was.
He has been good tonight.
Bennington and Skinner has been excellent as well. It's a real goaltender's duel. We're tied at 2 off the draw. Breaking free is McDavid from behind the net. Hyman pursued by Nick Leddy. Poke check by Nathan Walker. Walker out there with Sundqvist and Saad. Here's a chance. McDavid tries to stuff it inside. Now Ekholm, who had wandered down low, has control of the puck in the right corner. Fished out by Colton Parayko. Pursued by Hyman. He gave it away. McDavid the steal. The dish. Backhander blocked. Draisaitl watched McDavid try to center, and that was blocked. Hard rim. Bouchard unable to squeeze it inside the zone. What a giveaway by Parayko, and now Brandon Saad on the counter, heading for the net, and it was stripped away at the last moment by Ekholm with a minute to go. Saad to Walker, a shot off the glove of Skinner, and that climbed out of play with a face-off coming in the Edmonton zone. Wow, Colton Parayko put it right on McDavid's tape, and the Oilers unable to cash in. And a pretty good save, first on Falk and then on Walker by Stuart Skinner in the last couple of minutes.
Evan Bouchard maybe trying to do a little too much instead of just making the simple play and getting out. This is an important draw here for Nugent Hopkins, going up against their best man, Thomas, in the circle.
Thomas won the face-off, played back to Falk, over to Krug. Neat little saucer pass to Kyrou, whose shot is snared by Skinner, and a face-off will be to his right with 47 seconds left in regulation, and the game tied at 2. This has been a really good hockey game. St. Louis desperate for points. Edmonton trying to salvage what has been a difficult homestand at times. 1-2-1 in the first 4 games. Draisaitl against Thomas.
Thomas, right side draw, and the Oilers are going with a lefty, Leon.
And we'll have to drop the puck again. Draisaitl's out there with Nugent Hopkins and Fogle in this alignment, Bob. Nurse and Ceci. Thomas and Draisaitl. And yet another false start on the drop. Caleb Apperson will drop the puck, and this time Draisaitl's able to win it cleanly against Thomas. Ceci a couple of chances to move it out, and he got it done. Krug floats one over to Justin Falk. The Blues, remember, on the second of a back-to-back. Walking in is Thomas to Buchnevich. Cuts to the middle. Thomas is open. A shot. Toe save made by Skinner. Rebound Krug across the Falk. Back to Krug, left point. Open man, Kyrou could not handle the pass. Connor McDavid is on the ice with 20 seconds to go. Edmonton has possession, and McDavid wants a reset.
I think the Oilers will just take the point here and solo St. Louis.
That's exactly what it looks like. Now Nurse with a drop-off to McDavid. Looking to make it interesting. Down the left-hand side. Toropchenko centering pass just out of the reach of Zach Hyman. Clatters off the corner boards at the horn. And indeed, we will play an overtime session. A scoreless third period, but not for lack of action. Third period shots on goal. 9 for the Oilers and 12 for the Blues. 60 minutes complete. We've settled nothing. The overtime records are excellent. St. Louis is 5-1. Edmonton is 4-2, and we'll have 3-on-3 in 30 seconds. This is For Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Discover the many ways to connect with 630 Chad. Whether you're on your Google Nest saying, "Hey Google, play 630 Chad," or talking to your virtual assistant on Amazon Echo with a simple "Alexa, play 630 Chad," we've got you covered. From Siri to Alexa, Bixby to Cortana. No need for the old transistor radio. Just say "Play 630 Chad" on your smart speaker and stay connected to what's happening in Edmonton right now. 630 Chad, Edmonton's news, today's talk. All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Evan Bouchard has delivered the Edmonton Oilers not 1 but 2 overtime winners, both on the power play, both on the road in Montreal and Dallas. The other overtime winners, Darnell Nurse on the road in Detroit, and of course Evander Kane here at home. For St. Louis, an excellent OT record of 5-1. And Bob, in some ways that isn't surprising. either when you consider Kyrou, Thomas, Buchnevich, all game breakers in their own right.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of discussion out there that Doug Armstrong would consider moving Buchnevich. I'm not sure why.
Well, he leads their team right now with 24 goals on the season.
It's going to come down to a face-off win here, Jack.
First possession in overtime.
Thomas at 52%, Draisaitl at 57%, but Leon struggled a little of late in the circle.
Bouchard joining McDavid and Draisaitl. For St. Louis, it's Kyrou and Thomas with Parayko on a face-off win for Draisaitl. And a lot of people have told me, Bob, that against McDavid and Draisaitl in overtime, you'd start with two defensemen.
Yeah, well, they're not.
They're not. Here's McDavid breaking loose down the right-hand side. Thomas and Parayko to check. McDavid button hooks and takes a skate back to center. 20 seconds in overtime. The Oilers right to left. It's McDavid swooping in. Drop pass for Leon Draisaitl. Heading behind Jordan Binnington. Protecting with his backhand. Laying it off. McDavid thought about going for the win, but feathers one back to Evan Bouchard, and now McDavid will ratchet it up from the high slot. Makes a move. Challenges Parayko. Drop pass. Bouchard a shot. And that was tipped up and out of play, and we'll have a face-off in the St. Louis zone. 44 seconds into overtime, and Edmonton will make a change.
That one bit Kyrou a little bit. So comes Nugent Hopkins and Hyman.
Hyman with the 2 goals to beat Jordan Binnington. He's now got 8 goals lifetime against Jordan Binnington. And remember, it feels like because Binnington won a Stanley Cup, he's been in the league a ton. Well, that was basically his first season. Nugent Hopkins digging in against Braden Shen. He's going to be chased out, replaced by Zach Hyman, who then directs Darnell Nurse to his immediate right and proceeds to win the faceoff. So another possession for the Oilers in the attacking zone. Nugent Hopkins lost the handle. Hyman came over to help him out. He got barreled into from behind, and then Leddy had it wrestled away by Nugent Hopkins. So Nugent Hopkins, beautiful move, beating Leddy, crosses, deflected away, and Buchnevich now with possession for St. Louis. 2-2, we're in overtime. A minute gone by.
Leddy can really skate, Jack, as you know.
Leddy dropping it back for Braden Shen. He'll hit the line, a wrist shot, and that was fought off by Stuart Skinner. Shen kicks it back to Torrey Krug. He'll take a skate back to center, and the Blues on a regroup. Minute 30 in overtime. Torrey Krug, right circle to the net, and Buchnevich missing a midair swat, and then kicking it all the way down for Binnington to leave it for Braden Shen. Edmonton will make a change as well and get McDavid and Draisaitl back out there with 3:20 to play in overtime, and the game tied at 2. Blues with puck possession. Colton Parayko to Jake Neighbors. Returning to the city where he was such a stalwart for the Oil Kings. A drop pass. Neighbors to Brandon Saad. A shot. And that was speared by Stuart Skinner. The Blues will get an attacking zone faceoff with 2 minutes having elapsed in this 5-minute 3-on-3 overtime.
It's a good shot.
Saad came in at 17 goals for the season. Denied there. And now, once again, Kyrou and Thomas come out opposite McDavid and Draisaitl.
Blues haven't sold out at all to try to create an odd man break here. Not allowed Edmonton to counterstrike.
Draisaitl against Robert Thomas. Pivotal face-off to Skinner's left. Thomas and Draisaitl will have to dig in again. Boy, we've had a lot of false starts in the circle tonight. Edmonton, a back-to-back looming on the weekend. Thomas wins the face-off. Parayko gives it up. Robert Thomas, and he'll take a skate back to center. Blues with possession of the puck. It's shoveled back to Thomas by Kyrou.
This guy can skate.
Kyrou takes it from Thomas, who reverse pivots. Kyrou through one man, hits the line. Then had a shot deflected away by Bouchard. He's able to gather the rebound and fork it all the way back to Robert Thomas, who conservatively was lingering around center. Now Thomas will take it himself. Challenge McDavid. Head behind the net. Tried to shovel it out in front. Bouchard had it. Lost it to Kyrou. They continue to battle. The puck came in on net and was steered to Draisaitl by Stuart Skinner. Now the Blues call for a change as Draisaitl lumbers to center ice. McDavid wants a change. It's Draisaitl against Falk. A backhander to save made by Jordan Binnington. And there was a bit of a collision there where Binnington's stick came hard against the crossbar. 2:06 left in overtime, and it's Edmonton's turn at an attacking zone faceoff. Now, you do have a timeout here, Bob.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see Kane and Hyman and Nugent Hopkins. They need a guy to take the draw here.
Well, no, they have Kane out there.
Sorry, Kane and Nugent Hopkins.
There you go. Kane and Nugent Hopkins with Matthias Ekholm, but a face-off win for St. Louis. And it's possession. Torrey Krug directly behind his own net. He'll drop it off for Buchnevich. Thinks he has a step on Evander Kane. Heads for the net. Kane reels him in. Buchnevich backdoor, and he missed Braden Shen for a tap-in. And then Krug coughed it up. Now the Oilers come the other way. Nugent Hopkins to Kane. And Krug had tied him up. Kane tried to get it back to Nugent Hopkins. It was picked off by Braden Shen. Buchnevich calling for the home run. He's got the outlet pass, but drifts back into his own zone. Minute 30 left in the overtime. Another leisurely pace here. Buchnevich wants a change and gets one. Kane will swap out. Fired left-hand side. Neighbors for the Vind. And a save made by Skinner. Rebound in front. Backhander save. Skinner on Brandon Saad. Back-to-back denials. And now the Oilers will have Nugent Hopkins and McDavid coming up ice for the win. McDavid right circle. Waits. Shoots. And a save made. Jordan Binnington with a minute to go. Pulsating overtime hockey at Rogers Place. Ekholm to McDavid. Left circle. Shot deflected through skates. Ekholm first on the puck for Edmonton. McDavid, a little miscommunication there. Ekholm wheeling and ultimately regrouping. St. Louis will try to get a quick change, and they do. Thomas on, replacing Brandon Saad. Ekholm will skate it all the way back into his own end. Hyman and McDavid remain out. McDavid kicks it back to Ekholm, and now McDavid has it again at center ice with 30 seconds to go. Beats Thomas, walks in, left circle, shot, score! Connor McDavid, the Trout. 3-2, Edmonton. McDavid wins it in overtime.
Matthias Ekholm knew what he was doing all along there, Jack. He just settled it down, let McDavid gather some speed. He beats three guys on the play. And Binnington over-rotated, lost his post, and McDavid beat him. Binnington throws his head back because he knew he should have had that one. 3-point performance for Connor McDavid.
On a night where the Oilers score 3 goals, McDavid, who came into this game with a career-long tying drought of 10 games without a goal, even as he had piled up 23 assists over that stretch. Well, he needed overtime to get one. He did. The Oilers win. They rally from 2-0 down, and their only lead of the night is the final score, 3-2 in OT. McDavid's 22nd.
You know, and Binnington sort of just threw his head back. He knew he should have had that one, but fatigue as well, and you're talking about a great player that can elevate.
Let's go ringside, Bob.
Yeah, we got Matthias Ekholm down here, guys. And Matthias, a little bit hairy before you guys got the puck up the ice one last time. What's going through your mind as you're trying to shake that oncoming pressure?
Yeah, I know we have some skilled players out there on the ice, so I don't want to force anything. I was gassed, but sometimes you just got to try to use your brain and get away from people. Usually when you get the net, they don't come as hard, and there's always a route to take back, and that's what I was trying to do, and just find one of our guys instead of just forcing some.
Is it nice for the group, I guess, for Connor to break the seal once again? I know he'd been producing so much otherwise, but it comes with a win.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing at this point. I asked Connor too. He's the same way. So the win means more than any goals we can score. It doesn't matter who does it up and down the lineup. Obviously, Connor does it on a nightly basis. So great for him to get that one.
And another one in which you prove to yourselves as a team that you can battle back into a game despite another tough start.
Yeah, no, that was not the start we wanted. Obviously, we were sleepy the first 5-6 minutes there, but we got going, and I thought, if you look away for those first 5-6 minutes, I thought we played a pretty solid game. I thought we had a good effort. I think everybody contributed. I think Stu was doing what he does best and had some really timely saves in the third, especially on a 2-on-1 there. So I feel like a lot of guys contributed, and it's a big win for us.
Thanks, Matthias.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Brendan. And again, we said it in the second period. It's felt like one of those nights where Stuart Skinner was going to make it awfully hard for the opposition to get to 3. And that's no slight on Jordan Binnington. He was terrific as well. This was a goaltender's duel. There were plenty of scoring chances on both sides. It was an exciting game between two pretty good hockey clubs. I mean, St. Louis, maybe 5 points out of a playoff spot.
They're a good team, John.
But they're a good team. And
they play Edmonton.
They play Edmonton tough.
Minnesota and St. Louis seem to play the Oilers tough.
Yes.
I think you'd agree on that.
Absolutely.
Whereas Nashville's been a better matchup the last 3 or 4 years as they've tried to graduate more skill into their lineup.
Right. And when they were a heavier team, they bothered Edmonton, and they won 13 in a row at one point.
St. Louis comes to play against the Oilers. They do. Their guys get up to play Edmonton.
Kyrou in particular, I think, gets his ears perked. Robert Thomas
He's
is
a star, Jack.
Yeah, he's a terrific player. He's a terrific player. I thought that was a heck of a hockey game.
It was a great game. Yeah. Edmonton ended up getting 5 out of 10 points in the homestand. It wasn't perfect, but they're now 6-5-1 in the 12 games since the All-Star break. And you know, end result here, they rallied. They found a way to work themselves. Hey, Matthias Ekholm said it himself, sleepy start for the Oilers through the first 6 minutes. And now they get the Seattle Kraken, who Edmonton, I don't know, inexplicably are 3-0 against this season. They seem to get good starts in Seattle, too. Now, it's a Saturday matinee. Not sure if that's going to work against the Oilers. The Kraken are fighting for their...
It's a bad matchup for Seattle. It has been since they entered in the league. And they've given a lot of teams fits.
Yeah.
But Edmonton not only gets to Seattle, Bob, they seem to get to them early. And that's an interesting, point you make as far as the sluggish starts. But if you go rinse and repeat, the Oilers' muscle memory will tell them that they've gotten the jump on Seattle early. And that's the biggest thing the Kraken will have to deal with on Saturday afternoon. They're going to need some saves early because when Edmonton's beaten Seattle, they've usually gotten to them early. Now, earlier this season, of course, they had to rally. And was that not the Kane overtime winner? Was that not the comeback win over Seattle?
They were down 3-1 to Seattle.
Right.
Second game for Chris Knobloch as head coach of the Edmonton Oilers. So, of course, Hyman got the natural hat trick in Seattle. Jay Whitcroft's last game of the year.
Someone might have said at that particular point in time, it might have been a bad move for Seattle and the rest of the league that the Oilers got that win because that seemed to trigger a lot of things.
And as we know, unfortunately for Jay Whitcroft, the decision was already made. Chris Knobloch was coming in, and was as a result of this win tonight. Chris Knobloch, Jack, improves to
32-11-1.
I'd say the coaching change has worked.
18-4-1 at home.
Yeah, you gotta make some aim. I'm really looking forward to the trip to Seattle. It should be fun. It's a one-gamer, and then we come back in Pittsburgh. I expect we'll see Calvin Pickard go play in the city where he played his junior hockey.
Seattle plays host to Pittsburgh, and that's tomorrow evening. And then, of course, those are the two next opponents for the Edmonton Oilers. It's a strange sort of back-to-back, Bob. You'll have Cam for a 2 o'clock start on Saturday afternoon, and then coming home for a Sunday night 7 o'clock tilt against the Pittsburgh Penguins. What do you see? You've already kind of hinted that you feel it'll be a Pickard-Skinner rotation.
Pickard-Skinner rotation, and I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't know how they're going to play in Seattle. I'm going to tell you how they're going to play against Pittsburgh. I don't care if Pittsburgh's playing the night before as well, right?
In Calgary,
Calgary. So both will actually be in our houses by the time that's
watching that game.
Watching the end of that game. I'm here to tell you right now, what have we learned with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl over the last 2 seasons head-to-head against Pittsburgh? That is the one team. Those guys have immense respect for Sidney. This is the problem Pittsburgh has.
But they've also generally torched him head-to-head.
Well, they're up for it, right?
Yeah.
So you got Sidney Crosby, you have Jenny Malkin, and the Oilers, led by McDavid and it has not been close.
How about Sid's season this year? Further cementing his greatness, do you think?
No question, top 10 player of all time. Not only it is, we're watching a top 5 player of all time.
That's correct.
So, Jack, he has a chance this year. There's only 3 players in NHL history with 100 assists in a season. Wayne, Mario, and Bobby. You get into that category of those other 3 guys, you're there, bro.
1 point to make on that, and I heard you. It's a great factoid. It's been done 13 times. Orr and Mario did it once. That means Gretzky did it 11 times.
Wayne from the
11 times.
Wayne from the Edmonton operation. Grossly overrated player.
11 times, 100 assists.
Could you imagine because he'd find a way. He said
is the record 163? Was that Wayne?
Yeah.
Am I right with the number?
I think he had 52, 163, 215 that year.
Yes.
But and you know how humble he is. We asked him a few years ago after a 7-up one time, how many points would Connor get when you played? And he was like, well, with his speed and the sticks and everything, and the goalies back then, maybe 300. But guys would hack and whack him pretty good too back then too, right?
Yeah, you could get away with a lot.
Well, what did Bo Jackson say? I'd run for 300 yards a game today in the NFL, the way they protect the offensive players.
Well, that was a great hockey game. And
good win for the Oilers.
Look forward to a busy weekend. Again, Bob and Cam will have both games for you on the weekend. It's a Saturday 2 o'clock matinee against Seattle, and that's followed by, again, Sunday night, 7 o'clock. Always special when the Penguins are in town. They'll be on the second of a back-to-back as well. The St. Louis Blues, 30-26-3, gallant in defeat, but nevertheless see a 2-0 lead slip away. Edmonton with Hyman getting 2, and McDavid the winner in overtime to go along with his 2 primary assists on the Hyman goals. Hyman now at 40, McDavid at 22, with most importantly the overtime winner tonight to make a winner out of Stuart Skinner, who again was perfect over the final 60 minutes of this hockey game. He gave up 2 goals in the first 4:49 and then locked the door, finishing with 32 saves. Jordan Binnington, a quality start, but he comes away with a loss. He stops 32 of 35. So it's Edmonton and Seattle on Saturday. And again, that'll be 2 o'clock Mountain Time. Until then, for Bob Stauffer, Reed Wilkins, Rob Brown, this is Jack Michaels saying once again the final score, Edmonton 3, St. Louis 2 in overtime. Connor McDavid, the game winner. Ladies and gentlemen, the pleasure was all ours. The Rogers postgame show starts right now.
Exclusive live interviews, expert analysis, and game highlights. This is the Rogers